What is going on, everybody? How's your day going? This is your boy Sean, aka Stay Puff 1983. I am here with a special episode today, talking about Black women and comic book nerddom and pop culture. And we have a panel here today. I'm going to start off with my first guest. We have Annika, aka the Fresh Princess, returning to the show.
Hi.
We have Kenzie Mack, aka Black Girl Comic. We have another return. California Blend is back. And then making her first appearance as well. Got Sunflower the Blurred.
Hi.
And we have another first, Brown Sugar Outlaw. How's it going?
What up? What up? How's it going? I'm good.
Oh man, this is pretty exciting. Just to get this show put together and have a whole Black female cast join me to talk about pop culture and nerddom. So this is going to be exciting. First of all, I just want everybody to introduce themselves. Since a lot of y'all are not familiar with each other. So, Annika, if you can start off by just introducing yourself.
I'll go last because I don't know what you want me to say.
No, just introduce yourself, what you're all about, what your Instagram page and
I don't know the answers to this. Come back.
I'll go first if that helps.
Yes, that helps.
Okay, so Cree.
All right, what up? My name is Cree Michelle Rogers, aka Brown Sugar Outlaw. I am a cosplaying actress. I've been doing cosplay and acting for a majority of my life, and I decided about 2 years ago to actually start taking it seriously. See if I can turn it into a career, because I always wanted to do something that I enjoyed for my career rather than having to do something to pay the bills. Plus, being a cosplaying actress fulfills both of my things. I love nerd culture and nerddom, but I also love the ability to create and become something different. So combining those two into whatever Brown Sugar Outlaw has become is now my MO.
Awesome. Go with Sunflower the Blurred.
Hi. Okay, so I'm actually called Maya. That is my name. I review and talk about indie comic books on my Instagram and on my YouTube. I love it. I do it as a hobby. That's basically it. So hopefully I'll cosplay one day, but we'll get there.
All right. And then, of course, this lady needs no introduction. California Blend. Everybody on the channel has seen her. Everybody has purchased her artwork. And she has a couple new pieces up there. So how's it going, Gabby?
It's going really good. I'm just so happy to be able to do this panel with you guys, and I'm very excited.
Awesome. Then we have Kenzie. How's it going?
Hey, good. So my name is Mackenzie, and I post comic book reviews when I have time, and I'm trying to make an art career out of my artwork.
Awesome. And now, finally, to you, Fresh Princess.
Okay. Well, then, I guess I'm Anika. I read comics. I like comics. I like collecting things. I'm an amateur cosplayer. I cosplay sometimes. And I like TV shows. I don't know. I don't know. That's pretty much it.
That's great. We all love TV shows.
I specifically like Black television. I should put that in there.
There you go. Before we continue on, I want to shout out the chat. We got Life with Two YouTubers. Hello, Sharon. Varangian Vigilante. What's going on? My boy Raul. Hialeah Comic Bro. Rob Worst. Not Near Mint. What's going on? Tacoma Comics. Mr. Garrow. What's going on? Sugar Jen. And Bake the Snake. then you got Conquistadors. What's up, Javi? And so far, that is it. Oh, we got Dusty Brick Brown in the chat. What's going on, bro? So, now that I have all y'all together, you know, what I planned with this show was just getting Black women together and doing this show to highlight that, yes, Black women reads comics. You know, they do nerdy stuff just as us men do, but you don't really see that on the tube. You don't really see that broadcast on live streams, you know. And I really wanted to put it out there that, hey, there are Black comic book readers. There are Black women that are fans of what we love, you know, the movies, you know, the TV shows. So I just wanted to give a spotlight to Black females that read comic books and enjoy the same stuff that men do. You know, it's not just always got to be a live stream with just guys. You know, I just want to highlight Black female nerds, blurreds, nerds, you know, whatever. And that was my goal for this whole show. You know, I just wanted to put it out there like that. So I'm just happy that this was able to come together. And I'm hoping we can have a fun time just having random conversations. I know Maya had a topic that she wanted to touch on, and that was gatekeeping. So we can definitely touch on that. Yes, I remember.
Just call me out like that out of nowhere.
Yes, but that's one of the topics that you brought up, and it's an interesting topic because
yeah, for sure.
Because you know of how we all get involved with comic books, and there are people that like look at us differently. You know, they want to say that what you know about comics. You think that you can get involved with it and just pick it up easily. So that's something that we all encountered it.
Yeah, it's so funny because I have two younger brothers, and just like I have a stepbrother as well who's really into like anime and comic books and stuff like that. And I get gatekept by them, and it's weird to me. And I'm like, we grew up in the same house. How are you telling me I don't know the same things you know? It's just interesting to me. Like, if you say you love something, you say you're interested in something, like, why should it be challenged? Like, I say that I love this thing. It doesn't have to be the exact same as you. Like, for instance, like, I sometimes still feel like left out of the community because I largely gravitate towards indie comics and more towards like the, subversive, like hidden stuff. And like, sometimes I'm like, oh, the new Marvel's coming out. And then I'm like, you don't even read Marvel comics. And I'm like, that has nothing to do with how much I love Marvel comics or Marvel movies, So yeah, it's just interesting to me that like, you need to like know the password to get into the community sometimes. Like, I talked about one time or over the last couple of months, I've been posting about all the anime I've been watching. And I don't like popular anime. I don't like Dragon Ball Z, not a fan. Naruto, not a fan. One Piece, not really a big fan. And like I like horror anime. I like the gorier stuff. I like the, like more adult anime. So I get called out for that all the time. And I'm just like, I just want to enjoy what I want to enjoy. And y'all can just leave me alone. Like it's just interesting that happens still to this day, even though it's obvious that, Black women love to cosplay and they love, nerd stuff and they love, all the alternative things. It's interesting.
I agree 100%. Yeah, I love Dragon Ball and Naruto, but there's a whole wealth of anime out there that has different tastes, whether it's horror anime, sci-fi anime, and stuff like that. Dragon Ball and Naruto are like the top two in terms of most anime fans, and they like to shove that down our throats all the time. And I'm like, I love it, but like, geez, I'm not gonna just shove it in your face all the time saying, yeah, you gotta always watch Dragon Ball Z. You gotta stay on top of Dragon Ball Z. I'm like, come on now.
Yeah, it's annoying. I actually just started watching My Hero, and somebody on Instagram was like, I do like it. It's really cute. I actually don't normally like what do you call? I don't even know the genre it would be classified. It's like shonen, but also kind of like more like kid teen driven, and it's normally
it's
not
totally
my style.
shonen. It's absolutely shonen. It's shonen.
Yeah, it's like see that one comment. What? No Dragon Ball Z? Nice knowing you. Like, why?
Oh.
I just don't like it. It's just so like contrived to me. I'm just not a fan. Berserk is good. I like Berserk. But no, it's just like My Hero's good. I like the story. The story is really good. I really like that about that show. But it's just somebody like got on me about like, you need to watch the whole thing right now. And I'm like, relax. I'm gonna watch it when I feel like it. I'm enjoying the show. Like, and I've actually finished the first like 2 seasons. I just didn't tell the person just because I wanted them to be like, leave me alone. Leave me alone. Yeah. Like, yeah, it's really weird. It's funny that people think they can like introduce things to me like I don't know what they are. And I'm like, no, I know what it is. I just don't like it. Like, you know? Yeah, it's weird. Gatekeeping is it's interesting.
But do you ever
The weird thing with me about
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
No, you literally started talking first. It's cool.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Do you ever feel like people gatekeep in the sense it's like they watch the Marvel movies, for example, but they don't read the comics, but they feel like they know more than you?
Oh man, that's so annoying. I'd be like, shut up. Like, you have no idea.
You know, that goes both ways, because you have the comic book fans that, you know, love the comic books, and yeah, they watch the movies, but they feel like, you know, they superior. I know the comic book. That's the real story and stuff like that. And then you got people who go see the movies. They watch all these movies, and they think they know everything, and I'm like, nah, fam, you don't know everything. You know, there's certain things that.
I actually know someone who was like, I don't care anything about Marvel. I don't care about comic books. I just watch the movies because of the action. And I was like, oh, that hurts so bad. But that's okay. As long as we can go and enjoy it together. Like, I can't. It's so weird to me that you would love the movies and not like the comic books or the characters individually. And I'm just like I have a girl who loves Iron Man, doesn't know anything about Iron Man at my job. And I'm like, she's like, I just like Iron Man.
Does she like Robert Downey Jr. more than Iron Man?
I think that's what it is. And she's like, I don't care about those movies. I don't care about any of that stuff. And I'm just like, my heart. Like,
at my job, I was mind blown that there's individuals out there who have never seen a Marvel movie. I'm like, how is that possible?
Right? It's weird. It's everywhere. Like, how do you not see it? My boyfriend, like he had never seen Infinity War. He had not seen Endgame. He had seen like a few of the Marvel movies, and I was just like, why are we together? Like, what is that? He has since changed. It's okay. I've changed him.
I know for
It's
me,
so
like,
weird because when you're starting to deal with things like gatekeeping, what you want to let people know or remind people is that, hey, there are different levels to being a nerd. You know what I mean? Not everyone has to be the supreme Kai level of nerd. You know, like some of us are up there and we enjoy it and we thrive on it. We love reading the comics and then comparing that to the movies and being like, I see what they changed and I know what's going to happen because we enjoy that. And some people don't, which is fine. And that's the biggest problem with gatekeeping is because people don't want to just let there be levels to nerddom. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And when you don't allow the levels to exist, you get this kind of chaos. And to be honest, the only kind of gatekeeping that I'm not against, like, okay, I have a weird feeling towards it. Let's just say, all right, love-hate relationship is this whole new nerd versus old nerd kind of stigma going on. And it's not so much the new ones, like, you know, everyone starts somewhere. We all understand, like, not everyone's going to start with the Iron Man comic #1. Some people are going to start in 2008 with the Iron Man movie. That happens. But, you know, you get those people in high school who didn't quite understand who you were or what you liked, kind of made fun of you for it. The guys who like didn't date you because you were the weird nerdy one and they weren't as nerdy as you, but suddenly they're rocking the Captain America t-shirts and suddenly they're like, oh, did you see Black Panther?
I feel like I definitely suppressed that in high school.
Say what?
Tell me about it.
I feel like I definitely suppressed my like nerdiness in high school. Because like there's a stigma.
Yeah.
There's a stigma, especially in the Black community, with being anything other than what the box of being Black is. And when you have people, you know, who thrived in said box are now only getting out of the box because, you know, Marvel's making billions of dollars and it's cool now, there's a bit of a gatekeeper in me that comes out. I'm not gonna lie. Okay, there's a bit of me that's like, you made fun of me. I don't mind you enjoying it, but you can't sit here and act like you weren't one of the elitists back in the day before this was cool. You can't have both worlds. I'm not going to let you have cake and pie. All right. You're not going to have both. You can have some of my cake. I'm cool, but stay away from my pie. Okay. Back off,
It's so funny because I don't feel like I suppressed any of my nerdiness in high school. And that's why I had like no
Ditto.
I was like that weird alternative girl that listened to like metal and emo music, and like I like wore my bangs in front of. I was so angsty. It was cringy. It was so bad. I was like I wore all black all the time. Like I was so alternative that
you were immersed into it. I was the exact same girl.
I loved it.
And the only reason why I was lucky. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're good. Go ahead. I've been talking a lot.
The only reason why I was lucky to like still have friends was because I went from a predominantly black school to a predominantly white school. Yeah, and all the friends just started coming out, Yeah. And of course, my group was multi-ethnic. We had mixed kids, we had black kids, we had white kids, Asian, Hispanic, Indian. We had everybody. So it was more of a melting pot, not so much the macrocosm that was the black community. But I know for a fact that if I were to go to a predominantly black school in Atlanta, no less, it was going to be a completely different experience. I probably would have like 3-4 friends who genuinely know what I'm talking about. And that kind of, brings out the gatekeeper in me. I keep her back, but she does come out.
I feel like I only like I said, the same way as people who are like made fun of me or like didn't want to be my friend that are like super Marvel fans. Now I'm just like, how dare you? First of all, stay out of my DMs. Stay out of my DMs, first of all. Second of all, like, no, like we can't be friends now. Like it's just irredeemable. Like, do you remember how you bullied me? Absolutely not. Absolutely.
You can enjoy it. Have fun. Go out, watch all the movies. Go ahead, buy a few comics. We ain't talking. Right. Okay, I'm allowed to let you have your fun, but don't come over here. You stay over there.
It's bad.
When I was in high school, I had that problem, but I used to bring comic books to school, and I had a select of friends who liked the comic book, so I tried to gravitate towards them. But then you had the group that look down upon it. They want to make fun of you, and then you have one person that say they're your friend, they like comic books, and then he'll go behind your back and try and steal a couple of your books. And when they found out that he stole some of my books, that's when the tough guys come on and try and help me out by wanting to say beat them up and stuff. So I was like, I don't want to associate with the tough guys, but at the same time they come and help me out when I need help. And
when
somebody
things get real.
Yeah. They don't like, yo, he a thief? Oh, nah, we gonna handle this.
Oh, man. Yeah,
it's a weird experience being a black nerd because you know what you're supposed to be as far as being black. There's a blueprint, there are music videos, there are celebrities. You know what to follow with that. But growing up, you didn't have what it was like to be a black nerd. So suddenly your black card was revoked. And it was no, this didn't change. This is still here. I can't get rid of this. Just because I speak like this and I like what I like doesn't mean that this goes away. And we're now getting to the point now that nerddom is cool, where you can have that dichotomy in you. And it's great. Yeah. I would not change it for the world because there are younger nerds right now who are growing up who don't have to go through what I went through. That's amazing. I'm happy. But the fact that we had to get to this point for it to happen is a little sad.
Yeah, it's so weird because like I feel like when I was in high school, like being alternative in general was just so not the move. Like, and I grew up, and I was in like a kind of multi-ethnic area too when I lived in New Jersey, and then I moved to Georgia, and it was like Georgia was a weird place to live.
No, it's horrible here. I'm so sorry. Go home. And
I know. No, I'm in Cali now. Thank God. But I was in like Mapleton area, Smyrna, Georgia, and it was just a weird place to be. Like, and I was still super alternative, and like it was interesting because like I was kind of embraced by all the theater kids. So like that kind of saved me. And I was like a theater kid, but I didn't really like theater. I just liked hanging out with all the scene kids because I was a scene kid, but I didn't know any other scene kids, and it was all the theater kids. And then I moved back to Jersey, and that's when I kind of started getting back into comics and started going to comic shops because my dad actually collects comics, and that's what really got me into it. My dad and my godfather are like big comic book collectors. So like I didn't ever feel shunned at home. So that was nice. Like I could always go home and talk about comic books and be a nerd and just be like myself. But at school, I was like, hey guys, let's talk about this cool thing. And they're like, no, you're weird, get away. And I'm like, okay, bye. Like, you know?
No, I don't have feelings. I don't. That's not a thing. Yeah. Nobody has feelings. What? That's
fine. I don't need friends. I was a cheerleader too, but I was still weird as a cheerleader. Somehow I wasn't popular then either. So never quite got that down, how to be popular. It was so weird. Especially being like an alternative kid, like it was, and I would like come to school and talk about the new movies because as a family we would go see all the Marvel movies together. We went and see Blade together. We went and saw all of like the Lord of the Rings movies in the theaters, and like it was like going to school. I was like, oh man, did you guys see Lord of the Rings? It was so good. They're like, that sounds boring, and I'm like, all right, bye.
You know what's crazy? I never even thought to talk to my friends. Like, okay, so I had a select group of friends that did read books. Like I had to settle, and I'm not saying settle isn't bad because we had some amazing times. And then we swapped manga and swapped comics and swapped regular books. You know what I mean? But I would go and I would know who to talk to about those movies. You know what I mean? Like when I saw Lord of the Rings, I didn't have this urge to go in the classroom and be like, who has a crush on Legolas? You know?
Yeah.
Part of me knew better because it was like, they're going to look at me. They're not even know who Legolas is. They're going to make a joke on his name because they're not going to understand just how many orcs this dude killed with one arrow. And it's like, you don't understand how cool that is. It's fine. Yeah. Because I had my friends who did read the books. You know what I mean? But they, once again, were either white or half. You know what I mean? I think I had one friend I'm talking middle school, elementary school, because of course high school was all mixed. But I think I had one friend that was black like I was and kind of liked this stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe
you always
like
the kind of, yeah, you never really have like a full friend. Because I, growing up in elementary and middle school, I had like 3 friends that I hung out with all the time. And like, I still couldn't talk to them about stuff like this because I would get so excited because I was reading Narnia. I was reading Lemony Snicket. I was reading like all of this stuff. And they were like, no, we don't want to read any of that. Our parents won't let us. And I'm like, okay, cool. Harry Potter was fun though. Like, you know.
Oh, no.
But then high school, I want to say high school, I kind of just did my own thing. Like I stopped caring at that point, and I was just like, that's fine. I'll be okay. I really got into comics as like an adult. And then even now, like it's still kind of ostracizing. Like I went to work. I got a Venom Stanley exclusive slab Venom for like $80 the other day, like a couple weeks ago. And I went to work and I was like, you guys, I got this rare comic the other day. I paid so much money for it. And they were like, why did you pay that much money for it? And I was like, because Stan Lee's on the cover. And they're like, oh no, okay. And I'm like, anyway, can we talk about Get Out the Gray and Get Out the White? And they're like, we don't know what that is. Like, you guys suck. Like, nobody.
It's like, it's fine. It's cool. Let's not talk about comics. Let's talk about Jordans. How about that? Let's talk about how much you spent on shoes. That's a much more fun. There's a whole storyline with Jordans. Let's talk about that.
Yeah, it's so weird.
It's either Jordans, hip hop, or like Bake said earlier, Martin and stuff like that. You know, we want to talk about in school. But then, you know, I couldn't find nobody to talk about Star Trek. You know, I like this Star Trek, but everybody loves to talk about Star Wars. You know, I like Star Wars, but I like both of them. But I love the Star Trek. You know, Picard and Next Generation was my introduction to Star Trek before I started watching more of the movies and stuff. So
nice.
Nobody wanted to talk Star Trek with me. And I was like, damn, man, it's always Star Wars they want to talk about, man. I got nobody to talk to, you know.
Star Wars was bigger, man.
I know Star Wars was bigger, but Star Trek had the lore. Star Trek had the lore.
Yeah, Star Trek had all the lore. And it's crazy because my grandma is a huge Trekkie, and she's like my grandmother will literally watch Lord of the Rings every single day, all day long. Like, she's like 80 something, and like she will still watch all of it. So like that's hilarious. Like I love Star Trek. I never got to watch it as a kid because my parents wouldn't really let me watch it. But I saw I tried to start watching it recently, but it's just so much. Like it's hard. I watched Star Trek Discovery. So good. Star Trek Discovery was so freaking good. I recommend that to everybody. It is a great show. If you love sci-fi and you love a black female lead, a strong black female lead, like chef's kiss. Great show. Amazing show. Love it. I always wanted to be a Trekkie, but I was never allowed. So.
I'm gonna tell you, my uncle was a huge Trekkie. Like when we go to their house, he had a whole room dedicated to Star Trek. I'm talking about the USS Enterprise, the toys, the cars, the posters, and and we couldn't touch nothing. He wouldn't let us touch a thing. I was like, "Can I play with that?" Nope. Can I hold it? Nope.
That's so funny. That's so funny because when I went to San Diego Comic-Con, I got to see the figurines for the first time because I love comic book figurines. I nerd out over them, and I finally got to see some of them in person, and it was just like Christmas all over again. And I had the realization that if I get rich, I'm gonna be stupid. And instead of having that nice room, where everyone, you're not allowed to sit on the sofas, you're not allowed to walk on, the carpet. This is the nice room. No, it's going to be that Star Trek room where, you're not allowed in you're not allowed in the figurine room. Instead of nice china, it'll be figurines. You know what I mean? There was a giant Batman one where he was crouching down and he had his cape up. It was huge. And I imagine having that in my hallway. Like, I don't know if I'm going to have a hallway, but it's going to be at the end of the hallway. So when you turn, that's the first thing you see. So if my kids try to sneak out and get snacks, they know that Batman is watching. That's the kind of environment I want to cultivate. Yes.
That's so funny. I don't know. Did you guys like grow up in like comic book and like nerdiness? Like, because like I said before, I basically grew up like, we did like literally, like I said, my grandma would watch Lord of the Rings, but we would every weekend we would choose a movie series to marathon. We would do X-Men one week, Matrix another week, Lord of the Rings another week, and it was just like Blade another week. I grew up that way, and I'm like so grateful because, like I said, I could go to school and kind of be ostracized, but if I went home, I always had somebody to talk to about like nerd stuff. Like it was pretty dope.
I know for me,
parents are so. Wait, you spoke?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, go ahead.
My introduction into like superheroes was through the Marvel Cinematic Universe in 2008 with the first Iron Man film. And that's where my passion really took over because I love film and then I love superheroes. So to see those two come together, I was really appreciative of that. And for me in middle school, I was like obsessed with Superman at the time. So I had a Superman backpack with abs and I wore that throughout middle school. And then when I got to high school, I had a Captain America backpack as my shield. The Captain America shield is my backpack. So it was also an art school. So like everybody had their own thing. Like there was the visual arts kids, the music kids, and the theater kids. So like I was just the girl who liked superheroes. And also my high school was set in like the middle of a plaza. So during like my junior year when I had a free period, I would go throughout the plaza just walking around with my Captain America backpack and people would be like, oh, that's cool. But I never really had a problem where I didn't fit in with liking superheroes. But I know through my art, when I show like people who aren't interested in superheroes, when they see my art, they'd be like, oh, that's nice, but you can't really draw. Like you can't really draw people or you can't do landscapes or whatever, just because I was doing superheroes. So like when I came on Instagram and I was doing superhero art and I like found the comic book community, it's like, this is where I belong and this is where I feel at home. So that's like my
story. You don't need them. You don't need them.
Yeah.
You need we got you. We got you.
There's no need for that type of negativity in your life.
Mm-hmm. Literally. I hate people who are purists like that. Like there's only one form of like art. I was just talking about this with there's a girl called Life of a Geeky Mind. She's from Canada. She's in the comic book community, and we were just talking yesterday. We did like a little chit chat video, and she was talking about how sometimes people don't consider comic book art as art, and I was like, which is crazy to me because art, like, it is the purest form of art, especially when there's a story accompanying it. Like, how could you deny that some of the spread pages that you see are not art? Even if it's action art, it doesn't matter. Like, it's beautiful. Somebody took their time to do that. I couldn't do it. Like, I could never in my life draw some of the stuff that you draw. Like, it's beautiful. Like, I think I love comic book art more than I love modern art, and I love, like, going to museums and art museums and things like that. But also comic book art is obviously my favorite. So, I buy comics just for the covers sometimes, because sometimes the covers are so stunning to me. And I'm like, I need that on my wall because it's a piece of art. It's a work of art to me. And it's just so wrong to discourage somebody from doing cartoon art or like graphic design just because it's not like the structural, like the way that art is supposed to be. And I'm just like, I don't.
Yeah, it's really weird because that actually happened to me when my dad knew that I liked to draw. So he was like, okay, so I'm going to cultivate that because, my daughter's going to be an artist. And he has this habit of going about things in weird ways. So we went to the county fair in Perry, Georgia, which is middle of nowhere. So don't even try looking for it on the map. You will miss it on the map. And I'm busy looking at the cows because cows are like some of my favorite animals. They're so pretty. And he's like, no, you need to come over here and talk to these artists who are selling their artwork at the county fair. I'm like, you're not the same.
We're not
nowhere near the same. But hey, you indulge your parents. So I went and, we're talking to this one woman whose artwork I actually did like. It was landscapey, pretty, watercolor. I don't even remember. Anyway. So we're talking to her and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm interested in this. I use this medium because I'm talking more, the professional terms, because your artwork is taboo. It's not professional. Mm-hmm. And my dad instructed me. He's like, no, she likes to draw, the anime characters as well. She likes to draw, superheroes and stuff. I was like, Dad, don't do it. Don't do it. No. And lo and behold, the woman says, oh, I don't really consider that art because you're just kind of copying what someone else has already done.
What does that even mean? What does that even mean? Like, what? That would have been. I would have been
put
so
your own
angry.
style. So what she mean?
I know.
Exactly.
Like, what?
It's so
Comic
funny
book
because
art
I sat there appalled because it was like, how dare? But I was also too young to know that I could have easily popped off on this woman, because a lot of people like to say that it's childish, it's immature, it's not real art. Yo, there are people making millions off of what they do for the comic book industry. Adults. Okay, so screw you. All right, because this thing's going to live a lot longer than your cute little watercolor ponies. Right? Sorry. Don't come for me and I won't come for you. That's my philosophy. All right.
It's unfortunate that a lot of parents don't want their children going into the arts because they feel like there's no money in it. But without the arts, you wouldn't have all these films. You wouldn't have, like, basically everything that you used to spend your pleasure time. It's like based off of the arts, music, film, film, TV, comics. Everything is art.
Literally. My daughter is 7, and she, at 3 or 4, she started really getting into like painting and art and things like that. So me and her dad decided that if we were going to spend money on something ridiculous, it was going to be her art. So we've since split up, but at his house, she has an art studio basically. And at my house, she has a little art corner, and we just let her do her thing and she expresses herself. Right now, she says every time she goes to paint, she goes, okay, this is going to be a little abstract. I'm going to wear a blindfold and I'm going to just paint. And she goes, this one's going to be watercolor, and it's going to be, I'm going to make it drip, and it's going to be beautiful. And she does it. She really does the thing. And we're like, it's funny because my boyfriend, he's like, she's pretty good. And I'm like, right? I'm actually very surprised. But we try to not deter her from art, because even if it's just a hobby, she could also turn it into something that she could like to do as a career someday. It's just a hobby right now, but the more she practices, the better she gets at it. She might love it after a while. She loves graphic novels. She reads them like crazy. So we try to cultivate that artist in her, because we're like, listen, not everything is so black and white. This is still art. What you do is art. It is subjective to what you feel. It's an expression of yourself. So yeah, we try.
Literally, long story short, what we're trying to say, California Blend, is that we will fight that person. All right.
Yes, I will
Next
fight
time
her.
they come at
We
you.
got you.
Get us in this video chat. All right. We will handle it.
This is not real art. Get out of
Just
here.
make
That is
sure you know.
ridiculous.
I will
If
fight
any
you.
others you online from Canada, I'll fight them for you.
I never
I
liked when
got the
people.
North on lock.
I
Got
never
you.
like when people want to discourage another person's artwork, because when I was young, my inspiration for art, when I used to draw as a kid was Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, nice.
Sonic and Mario and all that stuff. That was like my entry into doing artwork, and then I hate to bring it up, Maya, but then Dragon Ball Z got big, and our friends back in high school, we used to go to this art class, and we tried to outdo each other when it comes to drawing Goku and Vegeta and all the characters in Dragon Ball Z.
See, that's good though. That's good. As long as you found something.
And it was so much fun. Like, of course, I felt at the time I was weaker, and maybe I discouraged myself, which is why I haven't picked up a pen and did a sketch in such a long time. But at that time, we had competing battles. Who drew Dragon Ball Z? Who could draw Vampire Hunter D? And Cowboy Bebop.
I love Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah, I used to watch that all the time. And, we had so much fun doing it, But then you get one person that just want to spoil it and discourage you, and like, oh, that's whack. What you drawing that? That don't even look good. And it's sometimes that discouragement piles on when you get it multiple times, and you end up stop doing it.
Yeah,
and that's what not okay. I would say. Yeah, that's what happened to me when I just stopped doing it altogether, because I felt like I wasn't getting enough encouragement outside of people who enjoyed it. But there's a lot of people that say, "Man, get out of here with that crap," And I went in New York, so.
I was about to say, this is the first time I'm hearing your voice, and I'm like,
yeah, I'm about to say he's from New York, definitely from Brooklyn, not from Florida.
I was like, yo, and then the more he started talking, I was like, where is this dude from? Like, I've never heard someone in Florida sound like that.
I told you before, I'm from New York.
You live in Florida?
Yeah, I'm in Florida,
but you're from New York. I'm from Jersey, but I don't sound like I'm from Jersey, so it's okay. I live in Cali though, so it's all right. I understand. I wanted to show you guys this book really quick. I got it for my birthday. My boyfriend got it for me. It's called Black Comics Returns. I'm actually posting an IGTV video about it probably tonight or tomorrow. But it's got like a bunch of different Black artists, and there's like art styles in here. Just like, oh, like look at that. That's awesome. Like we were just talking about Black artists and comic book art being real art. This is just literally an art book of all the different like types of artists there are out there, and I love it so much. And it's got a bunch of different people and like all their notable work. So if you like art books, I would highly recommend this one. It was not expensive and it's beautiful.
I saw you post that for your birthday, and I actually like put a note to go buy it.
Please buy it. I'm gonna post a video with some of my favorite I had to stop myself from doing B-roll because there's so many artists in here that I like. I was like, okay, one more. Okay, one more. Okay, one more. Like, it is so freaking good. And it's just like an art book of just like so many different types of art styles too. Like some art styles I didn't even think I would like, because I'm like weird. Like I like more like cartoony art, and then like sometimes like I like it to be like really like clean art. I don't know, I'm sometimes weird like that, but sometimes if it's more abstract but the coloring is really nice, like I love that. It's a great book. I highly recommend it. That's all I had to say.
Does it say what artists are featured in it?
It doesn't on the back of it. It just says 100 Black comic creators. Inside though, it has a legend. Does it have a legend? I don't know. No, it does not have a legend. It's just basically
on the website they have a list of them.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't even know this existed. This was a surprise birthday gift that my boyfriend got me. He was like, "Yeah, I know you've been like on the hunt for more like Black comic creators and stuff like that. So I thought you would really like this book." And I was like, "Oh, you know me so well."
Can I do a quick shout out to the people in the YouTube chat, because I actually took a second and started reading them. They are hilarious.
Oh
yeah, right.
I want you to know that we are not ignoring you.
It's going by so fast. It's hard to keep up with something.
Yeah, it is sometimes.
They're hilarious. Oh my gosh, I can't slow down. I gotta stop. I just wanted to show them some love because oh my gosh. And whoever mentioned Ron Mahaf, thank you.
I'm a half.
I love Ron Mahaf. It's oh my gosh.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
I want to bring it like to the art, and before I want to get Mackenzie's thing because she's been sitting there quiet. But I want to talk about the cons, and when I always tend to go to Black artists to get sketch covers, and I gotten this from the franchise.
Nice.
Oh,
That's dope.
That's really dope. I like that. And
then 2 years ago, I met Brian Stelfleet. He was a known artist in the comic book industry, and the funny story is, you know, he was doing Black Panther at the time, but when I asked him about, you know, doing a sketch, he said he wasn't going to do Black Panther. He'll do T'Challa, but he wasn't doing Black Panther. And that was kind of weird, and I didn't want to continue to ask about it because, you know, maybe that was just something that he decided to do. So I said, well, how about movie Shuri? And his face lit up, and he's like, movie Shuri? Oh, I'd love to do that. And then 2 days later, he came back with this.
Hey.
Whoa, that's nice. That's hot. I like that.
It's so beautiful, you know.
That is beautiful.
The detail.
I would frame that. You need to frame that.
Oh, I do.
Yeah,
I have it in the frame.
Why are you touching that? Get your hands
I
off
have it in the frame. Hey. I have this in the frame. I just took it out because it presents better outside the case.
Oh.
We wouldn't allow the suffering. How dare you? Now put it back in.
Put it back
right
in.
now.
We're so fortunate to meet him. I remember the last time I had the opportunity to meet him was when Greg and I did the Panther wedding cosplay, so Black Panther and Storm. Mm-hmm. And like I had my book and I went up to the booth. He was nowhere to be found. So I couldn't even show him my cosplay or get anything.
That's I've never been to a convention. I've never been to a con. Ever once. Never once.
International.
You guys look so surprised. You want to know why?
Because you're in Cali and it's mad expensive.
That's number one. Even when I was in Jersey, going to New York Comic Con was like, no. Number three, I have really bad anxiety. So like being in a crowd that large makes me like literally have a panic attack. Like I could probably do like the outside of the con where there's like people doing their cosplays and stuff like that. Looks like a lot of fun. But like the thought of going to one just stresses me out. So my brain is just like, it's okay, just watch from your computer. Like you're okay to just watch people do their vlogs. Like I want to go so bad. But like I have a friend who has like PTSD and he was like, it was hard to go. And I was like, yeah, it looks like a hard place to go to. Like I would probably be panicking the whole time. Like, you know,
just need
like
to go to small cons, like those super small ones.
You need to, the smaller ones. Don't
I want to try
the main brand ones.
That depends on the spacing.
Yeah.
Because I went to a small con last year or early this year. The spacing was tight and you had pretty much nowhere to walk because it was just bodies just walking towards each other, and I'm like, man, I gotta step outside because it's just too many bodies. I couldn't even dig for books because people bumping into my book bag and stuff. I'm like,
See, I can't. I like my. I don't. People with no spatial awareness piss me off, and the New Jersey in me comes out, and that's not okay. So I'm just like, let me just not. I'm gonna just not go because I'm gonna get anxious and then I'm gonna get mad and then it's just not gonna be fun for anybody. I really want to cosplay at a con, but it's just like when I think about it, I'm just like, nah, I'm okay. It looks scary. Like, yeah, I don't know. And then I'm like waiting in the lines to get stuff signed. Like I probably go to get some signatures because I want to get a couple signatures for some of my stuff. I want to get a Scotty Young signature for my Curse of Carnage, which he did a cover for that. That was really dope. I didn't even get these signatures. A friend of mine went for me because I was like, nope, not doing that. Can you go take these for me? Because I feel like I'm gonna have a panic attack. Like it's a lot. Like my anxiety is really bad. I was like, I'm gonna need like a Xanax or something if I go to a con. It's bad. It's bad.
I know.
Which I understand. Like when I go to cons, I'm sorry. What?
Oh no, I was just saying he just needs to cosplay, take pictures, and post it on Instagram, and call it a day. So get lots of likes.
That's it. That's
That's
it. That's what I'm gonna do. Go to the outside of the con.
Go early.
Yeah, I'm lazy though. I'll
That's
probably sleep
people.
through my alarms. Yeah,
Well,
I'll do it one day. I'll do it one day. It'll just be like for a short period of time, and then like kind of test the waters over the years to see like how I do in like a smaller group. Because I was like, I want to get active in that community, but it's so hard. Anxiety.
See, I was always lucky because since I'm like 5'11", I don't have to necessarily worry about crowds because there's when you're tall, there's a standard height of the crowd.
Yeah.
So if I was any shorter, I would totally understand because San Diego, Dragon Con,
Dragon Con
I'm
is crazy.
dreaming of New York, but yeah, no, it gets nuts, and every year it gets even more and more crowded. So when we say go to smaller cons, research the smaller con because someone in the chat mentioned Warner Robins Comic Con, and I'm like, yeah, don't go too small before you don't even have a dealer's room. Okay.
Yeah.
Be selective of the small con because you still want the con experience, you know?
Yeah, like
but
that's I want the con experience, but it's like I'm also very small. I'm like 5'5", so like I'm like average height. So like yeah, I'd probably get lost somewhere. I'd have to wear like my giant boots with the giant heels and not get lost because that's the only way I'll be seen by anybody. So I'm just like, no, I don't know.
I cosplay with my team, Usual Rangers 5, and what we do, like our first Dragon Con as the Power Rangers, what we did was we had a conga line, like automatic conga line. I can't remember I think we had a code word. I can't remember what it is. But whenever it was like, okay, a lot of people started showing up, it was like, all right, line up. Everyone would grab someone's shoulders. The fastest, tallest, which was me, would be in the front to weave our way through. And then the smallest and slowest, which was our actual Pink Ranger, would be in the back, like clinging on for dear life so that we could get to a free space and we'd all survive. Like, you have to go with friends if you do go to a big con.
Yeah.
So you guys have each other's back.
It's crazy.
I started going to comic conventions in 2015, and for me, how I started, I was selling at comic conventions, so I would never like really attend because at the beginning I was so tense. I would never leave my booth, not for food. I would have my mom go get me food. Like I was too afraid. Like there would be stuff that I want to check out, like comic books, merchandise, and statues, but like I would never leave. And it was only like recently with the past conventions that I've been to that I started to go out, look at comics, and start to meet different celebrities and do photo ops, which is something that I didn't think I would do, but I really enjoy. So I love that.
That's nice. Yeah, you gotta start small, or else you're not gonna like doing too much at once is what I'm afraid of, and then like kind of scaring myself off of it. So I'm like, oof, I gotta do it in tiny little baby doses.
See, that's so funny because if I don't throw myself into it, it's never gonna happen.
I totally see that. I see that.
Yeah, if I don't say what?
I'll say this. I never started small because my first con was at the Jacobs and Javits Center in 1992.
That's huge. That's huge.
So that experience at that age was like, wow, this place is huge, and so many people, so many comics and toys, and that was my beginning stages of going to cons. You know, my dad would take me to cons. My aunt and uncle, they were huge comic book fans, so they took me to a lot of cons, and you know, I was able to experience it so long that to the point where I'm pretty much immune to the big crowds because I just know how to navigate my way through them. And you know, I developed this sense that I've been going to cons by myself or occasionally with my brother, that I'm used to it to the point where I can carry the bags and stuff like that because it's something that I've built up with so many years. So going to big cons was like nothing to me now. You know, I've been through it all.
I feel like being a New Yorker helps. Being
True,
in all those
because there's a
crowds.
lot.
You would think I'm from New Jersey. I've been in New York like literally more times than I can count. You'd think I'd be okay with the crowds. I have just never gotten used to it. I don't know what it is. My body's just like, have a panic attack. And I'm like, okay. I guess that's what we're doing now.
But
Yeah,
I
it's
want to
good.
hear Kenzie talk. You know, she's been sitting there laying in the cut, just chilling, listening to everybody else. I want to hear Kenzie's story.
About Comic-Con?
Not just artwork, you know, your comics, you know, everything that we touched on here, you know. Do you have anything to add to it?
I guess I could talk about what a good small Comic-Con is, because the first one I went to a couple years ago was in Kentucky, even though Kentucky is like an iffy place, but it was called SuperCon, and it was pretty cool. It was small, and I went early because I didn't know all the events happened that night, but it was good for a first time. And then I went to Ace in Chicago. That was huge. It was fun though. The artwork is usually like amazing in all of them. That's about it, really. I mean, I'm doing a Black Lightning digital painting right now. It's turning out pretty cool.
Nice. I need to know more about Black Lightning. The show on CW, I wanted to start watching it, but she's like,
I don't like it.
Oh,
What?
no.
I do not like that show.
Oh,
I cannot stand it. It is so corny
No.
to me.
Is it?
It's-
Well, okay. Do you
Like,
Do you
okay,
like the Flash?
first off, I don't like the guy that got to play Black Lightning. I think he's too like bulky, if you know what I mean. And they fixed his suit so he doesn't look as bulky, but he himself is just a bulky person. So, let me tell you when I gave up on that show, because you guys are like, oh no. Let me tell you what made me give up on the show. All right.
Tell us the exact
All of us
moment.
are Black women. All of us are Black women. All of us have hair. Okay, cool. If you go out and you get cornrows down to your butt, are you gonna take those cornrows out by dinner?
No.
No, you are not.
At least
Okay.
not if you're cutting. If you're not cutting it.
Did her mama whoop her ass? Did her mama whoop her ass?
Like,
Did her?
No.
did she get an ass whooping? Because I would have got an ass whooping.
right?
That was so.
Every single
First of
scene,
all,
these girls have different hairstyles. It's like, what? Y'all are Black. How you gonna sit here and let the CW lie about how awesome Black women are?
she like, so you just gonna lie to my face?
They taking Black girl magic to a whole next level.
But wait, how long?
Okay.
How long did it take
I
you to
had
take it
the
out?
time, the money to just be able to be like, okay, the sun's up. I want cute little back twists with my curly fro out. Okay, cool. And then by dinner time, you know what? Let it all out. Because who cares about all that working time?
I would have gotten so much trouble.
I did meet the cast.
oh yeah.
Oh
Don't
no!
show me that. Don't show me
That's
that.
cool.
Come on,
It's
man.
like, no, I hate it. I hate it.
So,
No, it's not. You know what? I like the Flash. I will watch the Flash. It's okay. It's she's like, no. Listen, okay. You want to know something so funny? The last 3 seasons, if you ever walk in and we watching the Flash, I'm probably like, come on, why? That's literally just me watching the show because they do so much dumb stuff in the show, and I'm just like, I don't understand. Like sometimes they do. Like this last season was just, I literally was just like,
For real.
that is my reaction every time when I watch it. The Flash started out decent, but then as it went on, it was like, I'm like you. I'm like, why? Like, what is this episode about? What is they doing?
Like, y'all.
Guys, you know what's corny, but it's my guilty pleasure? That new one, Stargirl.
is
I
it?
know. I haven't
It's
watched
so
it
cute
either.
though. When
Let's be
give you
honest
that.
now. Let's be honest. CW isn't that
Trash.
good.
No.
Like,
Trash.
as an entire
Oh,
concept,
trash.
CW is not that good.
well,
And
technically, that one's not CW yet. It's going over to
Say
CW
what?
for the next season.
then your guilty pleasure's gone.
And
In
the funny
a
thing is,
season.
I wanted to like Legends of Tomorrow mainly because they had multiple characters,
right?
and I stuck with it until they introduced that damn bear that ended that season, and I was like, I am done. I don't even remember the name of that bear, but when that ended the season,
wasn't
he
important.
defeated the main villain. I was done. I was like, I'm done with this show. This shit is corny, whack. I was like, no.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest. I never watched the crossovers because I don't like Arrow. I don't like. Supergirl was my guilty pleasure for a long time.
Yeah, me too. But then I fell off.
All right, y'all. I'm good. I'm done. I'm getting off. We're done.
When I say guilty pleasure, I mean that shit. Like, I literally have never told anybody I watched that show because it's so bad. And then they do all the crossovers, and I literally would just skip through them because I know nothing's gonna happen. Nothing monumental is ever gonna happen. And I was just like, and you know the crazy part? Barry, the guy who plays the Flash, is really good at playing the Flash. Everybody else, the writers are lazy. Cisco is the best character. Iris, Cisco is probably the best character to me. Okay, we got.
No, that's arguable. That's arguable. That is arguable. Yes, I would leave that alone. Yes.
He's funny. He's not a stereotype, but he is a person of color who is in a STEM field. But they didn't stereotype him, and I like that about his character. But he's also funny and practical. Like, he never doesn't, like, if they're doing dumb stuff, he's like, why are we doing this? He's never like, yeah, gung ho, gonna go down with the show. Like, you know, it's just like, he's the most reasonable character to me. Everybody else is garbage. Iris is like, whatever. Everybody, like, I didn't want Black Lightning because I didn't want to get angry about, you know, sometimes when they. I hate when I'm watching a TV and the Black characters have bad wigs. I'm like, who is doing it to them? Who is doing this? I need to have a word with your producers, several words, because there's no reason their hair should look like this with $1 billion or $1 million movie budget or TV budget. Like, it just doesn't make sense to me.
Their hair looks good though. It does change a lot.
Does it? I don't want,
but it looks good.
Does it? Sometimes,
yeah.
Sometimes I'd be like, Iris be sometimes looking she be looking a little raggedy some days, but
like,
for the most part,
they don't get the hairline right. You know what I mean? Where sometimes the hairline is just good. You're like, okay, cool, Iris, I'll move on. And then some episodes, it's like she really got into the last scene when they were filming it, and the wig was just sliding back, and no one said anything.
So
you're like sitting there like,
fix it, just pull it, baby girl, a little bit forward. And it's like some of the villains are okay. I just, the Flash just went downhill. Legend of Tomorrow, I just watched the first season and then I was like, this is kind of corny. It's very campy. I wasn't expecting that at all. Did you see? Okay, can we talk about Batwoman? And
yes, please.
Not yet. I'm not ready.
Okay, I'm not a Batwoman. I don't really read Batwoman comics, so I don't know a lot about Batwoman at all. However, I am of the frame of thought where I dislike when they just change a character to Black just to serve a purpose. And they're like, just because somebody's gone, okay, well, we now have an empty spot. Why don't we just put a Black girl in there? But why though? Like, can we have a new character? Maybe we should get a new show. Like,
the fun thing about that is that there actually is a Black Batwoman. She's in my list of people to cosplay. Her suit's very simple. She's not like well known. She's not very out there. So it's not impossible for people. People don't even know about Batwoman in general. Okay. When they were like, oh, she's going to be a lesbian. People were like, oh, why is she a lesbian?
Because she is.
Because she is in the comics. I knew that.
I didn't know. You know? But you are right. You are right in the idea that it is annoying when they change characters' ethnicities for a quota's sake, because it's not giving us diversity. It is filling a quota, and it is in a lot of ways pandering. Like Iris West didn't have to be Black. No one was. Here's the thing that kills me. Whenever they change a character's ethnicity to fill that quota, it's never a character that we asked for. Like, for example, when they rebooted Spider-Man, people were like, yo, this is a great time to introduce Miles Morales. which it technically was. While Miles Morales is still an infant as far as comics are concerned, if you wanted to introduce a Black character and give us representation, you might want to go like full steam ahead with it rather than giving us side characters and hinting at things. And, oh, her name's MJ, but it's not Mary Jane, but she's MJ. You know, we don't want that. We want our representation. We want the characters that you've already given us done properly. You guys saw Black Panther. Everybody saw Black Panther. Don't sit here and trip and act like you didn't see the uproar that was for Black Panther. We want our characters. Don't change it for quota's sake. That's not saving anybody. Like, I know a lot of people are excited about The Little Mermaid and that she's now going to be a Black girl. That's cute. That's great for the younger ones. But no one was sitting here like, oh my gosh, we need a Black Little Mermaid. I want Ariel Black. We were like, don't make Tiana a frog for most of the movie.
Yeah, literally.
What we were
it's just interesting to me that they are willing to adapt something rather than introduce new characters with a different take and with writers who experience certain things. Like Tiana was, you know, they said it in Louisiana. That was great. They had a Black voice actress. That was awesome. Like, can we just have that, but not that same character? Like, can you just give us a new character and then some? Like, that would be nice. We got Cinderella 2, 3, and then the twist Cinderella. Can we get a Princess and the Frog too? That would be kind of nice. You know, like, I mean, it's just interesting to me that they would be willing to pander rather than create new things for us. And that's the problem for me. Like, I love having Black female characters. No, I'm just saying I love having Black female characters.
That we don't.
No, go ahead.
The craziest thing is that they make it seem like it's this arduous task to make Black characters when we already have Black characters. You want to know what the biggest thing that pisses me off about DC is that we have a whole Vixen. She is, by all technicality, the first African-American, first Black woman character in a comic. Like, she came before Storm, I believe. Yeah, right? I think she did. She did.
No, I think
we just looked at it.
She came after Storm. I think she came after.
I want to say she either came in the 80s or 71.
I think Vixen was early 80s.
I saw that too, but I think anyway. We still have Vixen, but we don't see her anywhere. You know what I mean? Jon Stewart came out a lot sooner than the DC animated TV show that, you know, introduced him to everyone. But we didn't see him until that cartoon. We have characters. Give us our characters. Give those characters the same spotlight that you give the white characters, and we'll be good.
It's like, can we get a Black character that already exists before we get another Superman movie, though, or before we get another Spider-Man movie, or before we get another X-Men movie?
In reality, Superman should always have been a Black man because he's melanated. He's taken from the sun.
Yeah.
Superman should have
I'll be right back. Sorry.
That's super weird to me that he's not. But I mean, the people are writing based off of their perception, you know, and it's like, and it's weird that their frame of mind is like, well, I'm a white man, so I only identify and can understand white manhood, and that is all I will ever draw. And you're like, but man, come on, there's like a bunch of people that exist besides you. I'm just tired of seeing reboots of the same white characters and then Black characters being shoved in every once in a while to kind of diversify things. When we could have just, I saw a trailer the other day for another Sherlock Holmes TV show. I was like, if I see another goddamn Sherlock Holmes TV show, if I see another like Jeffrey Dahmer TV special before I see anything about the Tulsa, Oklahoma city bombings, we're gonna fight, okay, America? Because that's a problem. The fact that we see like the glorification of certain things or the representation of certain things, and we don't even get them, like even like little breadcrumbs of Black characters or Black history anywhere in television, it's like ridiculous to me. I'm just like, I don't understand. How come we have not had a standalone Storm movie? Because Storm is dope as hell. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't get it. Black Panther came out. Storm should have came out.
Order in which they're releasing things. Like, I'm fine with them saying, okay, so let's start with Captain America or let's start with Superman. Fine, cool. Right. If you want to go in the order in which characters were revealed, no one's complaining about that. But after a while, and you've introduced pretty much the core white, and you know that one black one's coming up.
Yeah.
Do it. Like, honestly,
Okay.
Static Shock could be the Miles Morales for DC.
For real.
Easy.
For Static
Effortless.
Shock was
Easy.
my
You should have
dude.
Static Shock as a
Easily.
TV show,
You-
as a cartoon, the cartoon vitalized. It's so easy. We are here. It's almost as if they're not trying. And I'm not in a rush.
It
I just know
literally
I
is,
want
though.
them
You-
over
you-
changing random Domino to a
But
black
just don't
woman.
make it a
It's like,
CW
Domino, really?
show.
Nobody asked for that. Nobody even thinks
I
about
agree.
that.
Don't make it a CW show. But you know where they
Or-
felt? You know where they felt Static Shock? You know where they felt it? When the cartoon series was popular, they should have been doing the comic book series right off the bat and kept that going.
Yeah,
You know,
they sure should
They
have.
didn't do
They
a
really
comic
should
book
have.
series when his cartoon was running. Well, at least if
Right.
they did, it was a miniseries. But they didn't really push the envelope when it came to Static Shock and made him last longer after the TV show went off the air. And that was where they messed up with Static Shock. They kept bringing him back in small doses instead of really pushing the envelope with making Static their superstar, their Miles Morales before Miles Morales. So DC messed that up big time.
They fumbled.
Because
You know what's crazy?
Miles Morales
DC
wasn't always around, okay? Miles Morales is maybe
Nope.
8 years old, 9 years old, officially. Young still in comic book years. But Static Shock, we've known for about a
Since the
while.
90s.
DC,
Yeah.
you're sitting
Yeah.
here trying to
Yeah,
catch
90s.
up to Marvel when you could have been beating them this whole time.
yeah, right. Man, how do we feel about Anthony Mackie? Because I have
I
opinions.
love him.
Mm.
I love him and Sebastian.
Yeah.
I'm
Him as
not a
Whoa, what's
fan.
wrong with Anthony
Falcon,
Mackie?
really?
I just don't like Falcon as a character.
What?
I don't like Anthony Mackie.
Well, yeah, he's a weak character. Falcon himself is a very weak character. Like,
He
you can
is.
talk to birds and you have animatronic wings, and it's like, I mean, that's cute. That's cool. But no one's like,
Hawkeye, okay.
I'm not an Anthony Mackie fan. I don't.
So you already didn't like Falcon, and then Anthony Mackie made you not like him even more.
Exactly. And then he ruined Altered Carbon for me, so now I can't watch that. So there's that. But I don't know.
But maybe
I don't like
he won't
him.
be in this next
you know,
season.
we want to talk about somebody we
Maybe.
don't like. Say what?
No, go ahead.
You
Yeah,
know,
go
if I were to be honest and pick somebody in the MCU that I don't like as far as casting is concerned, this is going to be controversial. I wonder just how controversial. Scarlett Johansson.
I don't know if
Let
that's
me
controversial
explain.
because there's people
This
that
woman
don't.
is Russian.
Who, Scarlett Johansson?
Like,
is
she's
Russian?
a great actress and she's performing the stunts well, but the woman is Russian. Huh?
I don't know. I don't know much
Wait,
about.
I think I'm lagging.
Yeah, you
a
are.
little bit.
You like freezing up and stuff.
Okay, that's just me then. All right.
Scarlett Johansson's okay. I don't know. She's kind of an interesting person outside of her characters. She's low key problematic, so there's that. But but aside from that, I mean I like her as Black Widow. I don't really give her too much thought. I'm excited for the movie to come out so I can kind of see how she does in a standalone
If it ever
because
comes out?
It's just
Yeah,
the
right?
character is
oh, she's lagging.
Yeah, you're
Okay,
lagging, Cree. You're frozen. Your screen is frozen and you're lagging. Might jump out and come back in. If that
Y'all,
helps.
I have a question for you.
What is going on?
Yeah, what is going on? I have a
Okay.
question. How do you guys feel about this possible Storm casting? I don't
Oh,
like Beyonce
Beyonce.
as it or Janelle Monáe.
Oh yeah,
I
Janelle.
like them both individually, but not for that role.
No.
Or
I don't
Janelle.
like any of the suggestions.
I don't like that I love Janelle Monáe. She's like one of my favorite music artists of like
Yes,
all
I love her,
time.
but just not for that
But-
role.
No, she's good in some movies. Like she's good in she did her like mini movie for her album, and that was really good. She's done
Yes.
some other stuff, and I loved her and everything else she's played. But I don't think for Storm, no. I wonder who they're gonna actually get to play Storm like that. I hope, pray to God, they don't choose. I don't want Zendaya. I don't want freaking whatever that one girl was that played her in X-Men. Yeah. Alexandra Shipp, that was her name. terrible actress in general. I was heartbroken when
They
I
they.
heard
have the
people talk
ability
saying
to
that they
cast.
like Yetide Badaki as
Don't know who
Storm, and
that is.
I think she'd work. Let me see. It's
Who
like
is she?
this girl.
I've seen that. Yeah, she's pretty.
So
Where is she
again?
from
Apparently she was Chi-Chi on This Is Us and Bill Quist on American Gods.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She would probably be
Yeah,
a
she
really
would
good
work.
Storm. She would work
They
really
have-
It would
well.
work.
They have
She
the
has the
ability to
range.
cast a dark
Yeah,
skinned
like
girl, but
use
They
somebody
really
who's a little
do.
darker and
all the
also just like
actresses
who's not
in
like already like
Wakanda,
big and well known.
I mean Black Panther, all the actresses in Black Panther, and they can't find a dark skinned woman for X-Men.
Right?
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying. Like, wow. She's back.
Okay.
Got a
Hi.
tiny bit of life, but you're good. Yeah.
How are you guys?
How are you?
How are you?
Oh no,
Welcome back.
that's just gonna happen. I give up.
Yeah, she would be
Freaking
a
quick,
good.
y'all.
I
Hate technology.
feel like they should definitely cast somebody a little bit darker skin. I'm like, all the black
Yeah.
actors don't need to be light skinned. That's okay.
Also, somebody who will
Right.
not butcher the Kenyan accent because Storm is supposed to be from Kenya.
Yeah. Yeah. You know who, if they weren't a comedian, I could see being Storm? The girl from Insecure. Molly from Insecure.
Issa Rae?
No, not Issa. The friend.
Ew, no.
Not Amanda Steele.
No, I think she's pretty. Just because I like her as an actress, but I don't think she would be a good. I don't think she has a range for Storm. Is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I'll see you in another movie.
Probably.
What is-
Jaden
what-
Smith.
What is this, man?
That's my boyfriend. Please ignore him. That is my boyfriend. Just ignore him. Just ignore him. Ignore him. Sonequa Martin Green, somebody says.
Yeah, Tacoma.
So
Yeah,
I gotta.
think I could see that too.
Let me see. Yes, I love her. I love her. Star Trek Discovery, fantastic. She was great as Michael Burnham. I think she'd be a good Storm, but she's lighter skinned, like she's brown. She's brown skinned, but I wouldn't consider her light skinned at all. But I don't know if she can do a good
all
Kenyan
we
accent.
want is someone brown and under. That's it, just brown
Yeah.
and under.
Yeah,
That's it. Because in the comics, she's drawn brown and under. Just make her brown
yeah,
at the very least.
yeah, yeah. She would be really good. I think she'd be really good. Sonique Martin James, yeah, Martin Green. What? She'd be dope.
Well,
I hope I just
casting people do right by us.
yeah, because she was also in Walking Dead.
Yes, Sasha.
Yeah,
Walking
I
Dead,
hope-
Sasha.
Yeah, she was.
She was
good.
better in that than her
Than
brother.
everybody. She was better in that than everybody in Walking Dead. Let's
Oh
be real.
man, when they introduced Tyrese, I
Oh
don't
my
even want to start. I
god!
don't even want to start with The Walking Dead. Man. I don't want to start with that.
I stopped after Glenn died. I was like, all right, I'm out.
Same.
Bye.
I made it all the way to like season 10. I saw the
You-
first
you-
episode of season 10 and that was it.
You were like, no.
Yeah.
That's funny.
I think
Season
that might
10
be the one fandom I could not get into.
Really?
Really?
The
You know,
first episodes like were
Oh my God, all the heads just popped up. Jesus, I'm sorry. I took it back.
Honestly, I've never even tried it. So I can't say yes or no.
Simpson character. Oh, that's pretty cool.
Not alone.
One fandom that I was in for a while that I like couldn't stand anymore was Supernatural. After it got to like
So
season
that's
85.
on and on and
so
on.
has when that has passed its
Whoa,
expiration
whoa.
date.
Did you just
It
season
passed.
I-
to a season where you quit?
Yeah.
Yes,
Season, it
I
was like
agree.
Season like freaking 4, I want to say. I was like, all right,
Season
y'all,
5.
come on. Oh man. Season 4
Yeah, you're
was
lagging
good. Season
again,
5 was okay.
Supernatural passed its
Season 5,
expiration date.
you can't introduce the concept of the angels and demons and then be like, oh yeah, this will work out, and we'll have them fight other people afterwards. Like if I'm a demon and you've beaten my Lord and Savior, Satan Christ, like I'm gonna back off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So once they defeated Satan, it's like, so what are they supposed to be doing?
Yeah, right? Like it was just after that, it just got so muddled and stupid. And I was just like, and I watched up to season like 8 because my stepdad was like, you gotta finish watching it. And I was like, all right, man. But after this, you owe me something. I don't know. Like you gotta give me some money or something because I'm not watching the show anymore. Because this is bad. It went on for so long. Like, what are they on 13? Season 13 right now? That's the last season.
I feel like they on season forever because they just seem like they never. It seemed like it never ended.
They on the last season, and it's easy to keep it on the air because the fandom is mostly tween girls, and then they film in Canada, so it's cheap as hell. And then they have these 2 dudes. They'll probably do it forever because they're not going to get any acting roles after that. So, they're going to be the supernatural dudes forever. So it's like it's weird. Like I don't even know, man. That show just.
I'm not even gonna lie to you though. I like both of them as voice actors because the one who played Dean, I want to say, Dean, he did a really good Jason Todd. And it's like just start doing voice acting because you guys both have great voices.
They do have really nice voices.
Just disappear from the camera for a while. Like do voice acting. Do that for me.
Yeah. Oh, I wanted to ask about
Did you have
Hermione.
any questions, Sean? Because we're just like coming stuff up.
Oh man, y'all doing all the answering, with all these topics. I'm just enjoying the ride. I'm the host that occasionally chip in, but I'm just enjoying, the conversation.
I have one last question about Hermione Granger now being Black. Apparently,
wasn't she supposed to be Black in the books?
Apparently, okay.
Or
so the way that I didn't read all the Harry Potter books. I read like part of the first one, I want to say, and I was like 12, and I was like, this is not holding my attention. But from when people go back and look at the books, they say that she had frizzy hair and she might have had brown skin, but they don't explicitly say what skin color she is in the books. And I'm just like, I don't know. I'm not sure if she's supposed to be Black in the books or not. So I don't. But in the Broadway play, they cast her as Black and nobody had a problem with it, really. So
now that you talk about frizzy hair, how do you guys feel about non-Black people saying that they have an afro? Seeing as the term, like the afro comes from African. Like you cannot have an afro.
I just be like
curly hair or frizzy hair.
Yeah, and I'm like, that's not. Don't.
And it's always the people who say it are always like the ones who have like the
as long as they say that Black Lives Matter, I'm fine.
How about we find Breonna? We arrest Breonna Taylor's murderers. How about that? How about we get those folks arrested? That's all we care about. I don't
you guys want to say all of that and do the cool, go ahead and have a Jew fro.
Yeah. I grew up with so many girls like that were like Italian girls that were like, I have an afro, and they had like just curly hair, and I'm like, no, you don't. It's literally illegal in some states for me to go to work with an afro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy to me. Like, you're fine, relax. People are weird.
Yep. Question: is there any character who's racially ambiguous or an alien, but you claim in your heart that is Black? I'll give you an example. Piccolo.
I'm about to say Piccolo.
Piccolo's Black.
Piccolo's Black. Who else?
Also, Garnet from Steven Universe.
She's voiced by
Black.
by a Black woman. Who else?
Yeah.
I think Kita from Atlantis, but that could be argued that she's indigenous.
Yeah. Well, she's indigenous. I'm trying to think now.
She can be both, easily both.
Yes. Also, we do not claim Mr. Popo. He's not. That's blackface.
Oh, God. Mr. Popo.
That is an alien. That is a being. That is not a human being. Okay? He is not human.
Oh. Yeah, that's definitely That's definitely some blackface right there. That's what that looks like that. Ethnically ambiguous cartoon characters. I don't even know.
Yeah, I can't. I'm probably trying to think.
I can't think of one.
I don't know,
Trying to
but I
catch up
see
to
I'm
more
drawing a
of
blank.
light
I'm
skin.
still lagging.
I know there are some, but I can't think of the names of them. I was
Not
gonna
only
go
I
with
see
Martian
more of
Manhunter
light
on
skin,
Justice League, but
Mhm.
But they make him black in Supergirl, Martian Manhunter.
Yeah.
well, they made Jimmy damn Olsen black. And I don't know, but I'm like, how did this guy need saving from Superman?
Oh
He got
my
muscles
god.
and everything. I'm like, what the hell? Hey, Jimmy Olsen.
Yeah, his character was interesting. Supergirl's bad. It's a bad show. It's a bad show. Yeah.
Cree, you still there? I know you froze again.
Yeah. I think she's here.
See, this
Well,
was
I have to actually hop off the stream because I have to go to a hair appointment for my daughter.
Okay.
So we're gonna go do that. She's getting a mohawk today. She wanted a mohawk. She wants to shave her head. So we'll see how that goes. Maybe there will be tears because I feel like that's gonna happen. So.
On your end?
No, I was like, "Are you sure you want to shave it?" She's like, "Yes," and I said, "Are you sure you want to shave it?" And she said, "Yes," and I said, "All right." Her hair's really long, so
Oh.
we shall see. We shall.
She
You'll
could be
feel nice to
Mohawk
cut your
Storm.
hair, though.
Yeah, I'm gonna dress up as Storm. She did pick out a Storm comic book that I gave her for her birthday. I framed it for her birthday, so she has that. She loves it. So, yeah, it was so nice talking to everybody and meeting everybody.
Yeah.
Yes.
Same.
Yeah, it was
Such
great.
a fun conversation.
Oh.
I wish Cree would come back. She's having issues with her computer. I want to say bye, but I'll probably message her and say bye.
Yeah, she started out pretty good, and then
Yeah, I know,
her
that's so
internet
weird.
crapped out.
Yeah.
I want to talk
All
about
right.
this book, and hopefully she come back.
Ninja Turtles are supposed to be black? What? Josue, where you get that from?
Oh, nice.
This is what she had put the magazine out with all different cosplayers, and
That's dope.
Mhm.
some of the procedures. And here she is. She's back. Add her. This
Weird.
device is not connected.
Oh.
You okay?
No. But I think I've stopped lagging.
A little bit.
No.
A little bit.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
I'm gonna try
I'm gonna
this.
go. It was nice to see everybody. Thank you everybody for watching.
Dang it,
I will
missed
see you
it.
all.
Thank-
I will see you all on the internet.
Yes, catch you on the interwebs later.
Bye.
Later. Hey, Cree, I was just showing this. Your Imani cosplay on the cover of the Glass Vault magazine. You can uncover your eyes and just this like puts a lot of spotlight on cosplayers of color, and I just want to ask the question on the process of the cosplay. Working with all the various cosplayers, because I know you did that video where all the cosplayers came together, and that was amazing. So this cosplay, the Imani, what was your favorite thing about it? What was your thing you didn't particularly like about it? And how was the design build?
Whew. So long story short, Imani is my most difficult cosplay to date because there was so much about her that required everything I had learned. Okay, everything I had learned. Okay, I was pulling memories from like 2000s to put this thing together because she's a very intricate character. And my favorite thing was tackling the wig, which is actually as tall as I am. I cannot hang that wig anywhere. It is literally laying on the ground in a corner because it can't fit anywhere. Now, granted, I could dismantle it because I made it so that I could like carry it around and take it places. But honestly, when you take it apart and then you have to put it back together, it's a lot. Okay, that was my favorite thing to do. But the most frustrating part about it was the light system, which is why I don't take the hair apart.
It's tied
Imani,
to the hair?
oh yes, everything lights up. All right. Okay, so what's so interesting about Black characters is that when studios finally decide to make a Black character, they put their all into it. Okay, they go out, they go ham, they lose their minds on this Black character, which is great for Black representation because when you have, let's say, Marvel, for example, that went years without even one Black character, and then what are the first two they make? An African king in the first uncolonized African nation with the most valuable resource in the world. And then the woman is a weather witch, a literal weather goddess. Okay, they were like, okay, yeah, we got to make it up to the Black people because we haven't had one in a while. Paladins did the same thing with Imani. While they do have Black characters, Imani.
Uh-oh.
Was just this
Also,
golden. Her gloves glow. Okay, I think I'm back. Am I back?
Yeah.
Mm.
You're back,
Okay.
but you're freezing.
Her hands glow. And what? Are you serious? We were doing so well.
You're doing good now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thought the hand gestures would help. Her hands glow. Her skirt glows. The jewel at the very bottom of her 9-foot hair glows. There are even pieces on her body that glow that aren't attached to anything. And I saw her and I was like, I want to do this, but didn't realize that there's no such thing as gloves that aren't attached to any kind of fabric that just glow. So we had to kind of like figure out how to do that from the jump. And when you do things like that, when you have characters like Imani that you really want to bring to life as accurately as possible because I'm an accuracy nut, it was like, how are we going to do this? I have like several failed prototypes of her gloves in my house, trying to figure out the best way to make my hands glow without making it look like, oh, it's going to be given away or people are going to see too many wires, you know? I love my Imani cosplay. I love her to death. She is a headache.
Yeah, even Katoon saying lighting and cosplay is quite tricky.
Especially when you make it seamless. Because when artists draw, they get so excited that they don't think about the cosplayers who are going to want to cosplay it. And they're like, that doesn't translate to real life. That's pretty much the crux of being a cosplayer. You see something cool, but is it practical for real life? Most of the time, no, which is why it's so cool.
And that's the challenge of cosplay.
Oh, I was saying, so what's your favorite cosplay you've ever done?
Oh man,
I'm with questions
again.
like these, I'm gonna be honest. Someone's like, what's your favorite anime? Oh my gosh, really? Okay, wait. All right, I'm back. Jesus. It's really hard to pick a thing for me because I'm naturally indecisive. Just naturally. I can tell you my top 3 are my Storm, my Okoye, and I want to say Tiana. I'm going to say Storm, Okoye. My favorite 3.
What was the third one?
The reactions I get when I wear them, plus the characters are just freaking fun to be, you know? Tiana, Princess Tiana.
Okay.
Was the third one? I thought that was the second. Oh, no. You're right. You see,
Yeah,
I would say Moana is number 1 for me because, like, the joy it gives little kids when they see you. Because, like, when I did Moana, like, out of all my cosplays, like, Moana was the one that's, like, adults came to you and they, like, were happy. Like, you see the joy on their face, but then, like, the joy on little kids' faces, too. It's just, I love it.
You literally
So
can't beat it. I do princess parties as well. So like birthday parties and stuff. And when there was one day I had two events, one in the morning, one in the afternoon, and there was no time to get out of Princess Tiana. Like if I had any errands to run that day, I had to run them as Princess Tiana. So I'm going to the bank as Princess Tiana. I'm grocery shopping as Princess Tiana. And there are little kids who are in the grocery store and who are leaving a store next to the bank, and they're like, they're literally petrified and speechless because they're like, it's a princess. It's a princess. Mom, did you plan this? You didn't. You didn't know a princess would be. What do I do? What do I do? And then they freeze. It's so funny. They panic, they freak out, and then they freeze. And you're like, hi. And they're like, oh my God, it's real. Oh my God, the princess is real. So now there's this whole exchange of them just being like starstruck and happy and wanting a hug, not knowing if it's real. Then I met one of my friends who has kids. I met their child in the grocery store once as Tiana. Apparently this happens a lot. And then later on, he calls me and he's like, listen, I know my daughter was really shy and quiet at first, but when we got in the car, she would not shut up, right? From where we left you to home, she was like, and Princess Tiana, and did you see her? And did you see her dress? And did you do this? And did you see that? I was like, that's all I want from life. That's it. I'm good.
Right.
and that's the thing. You touched a lot of people with your cosplays, from kids to adults. And, every cosplay is a huge part of representation because you cosplay a lot of Black characters, and that's awesome. Your 28 days of Black cosplays is one of the best, because you touch every character. And, your connection to the cosplay community, is just fantastic. You work with a variety of cosplayers along with your group, the Yuzu Rangers. And I remember I saw when I was watching a video, and this was back in like 2014, when I saw that cosplay group. And then years later, I discovered the Yuzu Rangers. Like, man, because it was in Atlanta, and I think it was the aficionados, Mason AJ video that I saw then. And I was like, yeah, it's the same group. And I was like, wow, so Cree was a part of that, to use the Yellow Ranger.
Yeah, I love, the thing is, cosplay is this immersive and fun hobby, and it's one of the best ways that nerds can genuinely express how much they love a character. Like the reason why Storm is number one for me is because I want to be Storm. Like if a freak accident were to happen and I have white eyes and I can make a breeze come through Savannah, Georgia right quick, I'm a happy camper. That's my goal. That's my elusive dream, if you will. So to be able to become these characters and then meet other people who have this love for the characters that they cosplay, my goal is to eventually be able to just have nonstop collaborations with people where we all get to explore our love, but also spread a message, do good by the community that we're in, because there's a lot of drama and narcissism in the cosplay community that keeps a lot of people from cosplaying, and it pisses me off.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. It's like, why?
No, it's crazy when it comes to cosplaying that, people want to get on Black people cosplaying white characters. And I'm like, you can cosplay whatever character you want because you grew up off that character. If you want to be Superman, be Superman. If you want to be Batman, be Batman. Spider-Man, Wolverine, anybody can portray those characters. And when I see,
change yourself for
so
it.
Crazy because yeah,
like
I have a friend who made a good point.
White Miles Morales.
He loves. Okay, I'm about to be controversial with me. My friend made a good point. He was like, he loves Peter Parker. Peter Parker is his favorite Spider-Man character. And we've had Peter Parker for years. We've known all kinds of iterations of Peter Parker. We've been through so much with Peter Parker. Miles Morales is very new. He was like, I'm not necessarily jumping on cosplaying Miles Morales because I don't know him as well. He's cute, he's fun, but I don't have the connection that I have with Peter Parker because I've been through so much with Peter Parker. And I kind of take that personally because it's going to be weird. when you have so few Black characters and so many white characters, it's kind of weird that they would travel over to the Black side of things because you have so much. A majority of Black characters are unfortunately rehashing of white characters. You know, you have, she was the original Captain Marvel, Monica Rambeau is piggybacking off of Miss Marvel and her powers. It's so weird. You know, we have our own thing about us, but when you know how many white characters there are compared to Black, Hispanic, Asian, Middle Eastern, I get really defensive of those characters. I do. Anyone can cosplay who they want. It's just personally, I would never cosplay White Tiger because I don't even know about it. You should cosplay her because that is your representation. And just as important as it is for me to see Storm, it's important for you to see White Tiger and Miss America and know that those are your characters to cosplay.
Exactly.
I hope that made sense.
Yes, it does.
Makes a lot of sense. And you know, I look at some of the characters that people cosplay, and it's not even really about the race. It's just about the awesome, you know, costume designs and the builds. You know, that's what I enjoy most about cosplay is the amount of detail and the work that they put into it. You know, and that's what makes the con experiences so great. You know, you get to see all these different variety of cosplays and their suits and the builds and costumes. It's just amazing work, you know, and that's what it's all about when it comes to cosplay. It's just enjoying the hobby, enjoying meeting people who like and love these characters and having fun with it. You know, when you're happy doing cosplay, it just makes the experience that much better, you know, and that's the whole point of it.
It's like when I do cosplay, I always try to do something different. So if it's like a popular character like Storm, I don't want to do the normal Storm. I do Punk Storm or like the Wedding Storm. But then the thing is, I go to these conventions, people only know what they see in the movies. So they see me and like I don't get any reaction because they don't know. Like one time I did America Chavez, someone's like, is it like Lady Captain America? It's like, are you American? Why are you wearing that? I'm like, no, I'm not. And it's a character. Or like whatever I do, people seem to like either not realize or they have a problem. Like when I did the wedding of Black Panther and Storm, people obviously know Black Panther, but like I'm not. I'm like wearing like this wedding dress kind of thing. So they look at me and they're like, they don't know who I am, even though I'm wearing white hair, because like they don't know that the Black Panther and Storm got married. So they're like asking for Greg's picture and everything, and I'm just like standing there taking the picture or like watching. I'm like, okay. The picture would look better if the two of us are in it.
I guess.
Thanks, Josue.
Okay. I think I might have to go too, because yeah, my computer is acting all kinds of funky. I think I'm gonna have to go as well.
It was great
Okay.
having you on here, though. You know, you
Sorry.
came on and it was so much fun, and hopefully we could definitely do this again.
With a better computer. Yes.
We definitely have to do this again.
Yeah, this was fun. You know, so much topic, so much discussion. You know, and we didn't even hit the tip of the iceberg yet. I agree.
That too. I did gender
Okay.
bent
Yeah,
stuff.
no, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna go. Thank you guys
recognize.
so much for having me. I'm sorry if I interrupt. I'm really
No.
over
Fine.
here. But all the love to you guys. Thank you so
Same to you.
much for having me and out.
You had your hand up, Mackenzie.
Oh, no, I was waving.
Oh man.
Yeah, sometimes gender bent cosplays are the best. Cause like I had fun making my Red Hood one for last September, but people didn't realize that one either.
But they don't recognize Red Hood?
Like I guess they recognize it, but because I'm a girl, it's like meh. And then there's like there was a guy there. I think there's two guy Red Hoods, so like people are going after him.
Oh, come on
I'm
now.
like, all right.
They suck.
The thing is, like, I don't know if it's just a Toronto thing or what, but like my con experiences here are just like me and my friends, which is just like it's usually just two of us cosplaying. Like as I said earlier, there's a lot of elitism in cosplay. Like people, like I make my costumes, and like people just buy their costumes, and like they're getting all the attention. And like sometimes their costumes they don't even like look good.
Yeah, you put in a lot of effort in your cosplays, and you feel like you're not getting recognition for it.
Yeah.
Getting the attention. And your Red Hood cosplay was dope. Like, how
That
can
one took
people
me so
ignore
long
that?
to make.
I don't understand that. Like, why would
Honestly, I
you
think it's
ignore
just a
that Red
Toronto
Hood?
thing.
Yeah, that's why Make It Con next year. You need to come.
Because I remember one time, like Josue, the one there in the comments, him and I went to a convention, and he was Deadpool, and I can't remember what I was at the time, but they were having a Spider Verse like big meetup. So anybody that would interact with Spider Man or whatever. So he went to the thing. We went there, and like people were just like brushing him off and like, "Yo, man, like we're doing something here. Like get out of the way," type of thing. We're like, he's trying to participate in this group, and like he built his Deadpool from scratch, and like he's like wearing pants and stuff, so it actually looks like what Deadpool be wearing, not like no tight like suit. And he has his guns, he has his mask and everything, and like people are just disrespectful.
Yeah, I think that's one of the problems with some of the cosplay communities. Like you said, the elitism. People gravitate towards cosplays that they think looks better than another one. To me, I'll take all of them. Take pictures of any cosplay. No matter what, because I think everybody puts work into their cosplay at least. And the ones that you could tell didn't put a lot of work, they just come dressed up regular. I still accept them for what they at least attempted. So anything else that y'all want to talk about? I feel like we done talked about the gatekeeping and the Batwoman. Any comics y'all read?
Okay, I was just gonna ask, what's people's favorite comic series?
Well, right now I'm about to do a YouTube video of it, but I just picked up Denny O'Neil's run of Iron Man. I picked up issue 189 through 199, which is the Ironmonger story, and I have to get number 200, but that's what I'm about to read right now.
Awesome.
Yeah. What did I just finished reading? Shoot, it was the Wild Kingdom 1 through. Is it 4 or 5? It was like X-Men and Black Panther. It's basically like it's a love story. You get to see like the love story of Black Panther and Storm, and I really liked it.
I remember not like that was the crossover with X-Men, right?
Yeah.
I remember not liking that as much when it first came out.
The story was meh, but I liked specifically like the Black Panther and Storm part of it.
Yeah, I thought Black Panther and Storm and some of the characteristics of the characters were good, but the story was very average to me. I didn't enjoy it as much. Yeah. I like that.
This cover. One, yes, this is a pretty good cover.
Frank Cho cover.
We want to go to the store.
But like, do you guys have a favorite series like dealing with a black character specifically? Because my personal favorite is one called Genius, and it's by Image and Top Cow. I don't have it because Greg I lent it to him to read. But apparently there's a volume 2 out that I need.
Issue 4 of this came out.
Oh
already.
yes, Niobe.
But I want the physical copy.
Is that She Is Death or She Is
Life? Death.
She Is Death.
Yeah, it's the recent one. But I need to get some of the Stranger comics, especially the She Is Life storyline, so I can get more about it. Because so far from the 3 issues, I really enjoyed it. And when I get issue 4, I'm definitely can't wait to read that.
The guy Sebastian had messaged me before saying that you can get it on the website.
Yeah.
Let me see.
I'm
Apparently, have you guys heard of Tuskegee Airs?
Yes,
By
yes,
That's
I
the
saw it on your page today. That the girl that you posted recently.
Sadiq, yeah, so he's coming out with a new one. So issue 0 is out right now, and number 1's not yet out, but I ordered issue 0. I'm excited. Sounds good.
Yeah.
Bitterroot is another one. Jeff bringing up Bitterroot. I'm enjoying that. Excellence has been good. And I love the movie variants. Both of them are killing it with the movie variants.
The last book I read was the one that I posted, The Wicked and the Divine. That's a main black character. It's not really focused on it, but it's pretty good. I've been
Yeah,
busy with art though.
I read the dollar issue of that, and I thought it was pretty good, but I never really followed up and brought the trades. Because with most Image books, I tend to get the trades more so, and then books that I've been ongoing with is like a couple of issues because I like to spread it out between Image, Boom, and Dark Horse. But I'll have to get that deluxe edition of Wicked and Divine. Check that out.
I need to read that one, but I need to get through Saga first.
Saga is amazing. Like when you get to the end of that, you're gonna really feel the pain.
Maybe I should just because the next one's supposed to be coming out in December, so I'll just push it back till like November.
we just need the issue 55 to come out because I'm like, it's been 2 years. They were supposed to come back July of last year. Yeah, I did see that post. Yeah, that's awesome.
It was a surprise. I was surprised that my friend got it for me. Especially because I had just posted the image like the end of June, the middle of June.
I did see that post, Dusty Brick Brown. No, I didn't. I need to get it because that Tribe Called Quest homage is awesome.
Let me see. Let me pull up my other questions that I have here. Anybody have a favorite comic character?
Spider-Man's one of my favorites.
Yeah. For me, I have a couple. I love Spider-Man, Captain America, and I love Superman, and then Miles Morales as well.
I don't have a favorite.
Really?
Just like them all, or they just not favorite preference?
I'm lying. I obviously love Storm. And as a child, I liked Spider-Man because Spider-Man was actually my first like superhero comic that I read religiously.
Yeah, I mean, Spider-Man was the first comic I read when I was a kid because my granddad, before he passed away, used to read me Spider-Man comics. So that was my first introduction to comic books. And then X-Men came, and then you had 1992 when X-Men came out, the cartoon, and you hear that opening music, bam, automatic. I'm buying up so many X-Men books.
I watch reruns because I was born in '92, so obviously I wasn't watching it. I rep '92, but I'm really '93 because I'm just like a few days short of being born in '93. I don't know anything about '92.
But yeah, Storm was one of my favorites, and I'm gonna give love to the independent. I love
I love that.
nice.
Yes, Jen Bartel's my favorite.
Awesome.
To the point where like one day when I finally found out like who she was and like I'm like, okay, I recognize her art style. I was just randomly like every day obviously I use my phone. I'm like randomly scrolling. I'm like, wait, is this image Jen? I'm like, it is a Jen Bartel. Oh.
Nice.
And then but then of course I have to have some Nubia too.
And that Wonder Woman, what was it, $750?
Yeah.
I knew I was only getting that cover. That was the only cover I was buying. That Wonder Woman in Nubia. Because it, and you know, for $10 a book, I'm like, I can't with these books. Like,
Is that how much
if I like,
the book was?
yeah, it was $10 for
See, I
$750.
just pick up stuff and don't look at the price, and it's really bad.
That's the first thing I look at. I pick up a book, right? I say, man, this is pretty cool. Then I look at the price tag. It says $5.99. I'm like, ain't that cool?
I mean, I think I don't look at the price because I already know that like I'm going to be paying more than what the thing says. Because it says the American price on there. And I'm like, well, I'm not paying the American price. It's going to be more. Like this says $5. Why is this $5? I paid $7.50 for this.
It's that art journal. And I got him to sign that too. What else did I read? I pulled this out. I don't know if you remember me posting, because I always promote this book whenever I get the chance to. He's the current writer of the Miles Morales, but have you read Abbott?
Greg reads that.
You should definitely check it out. One of those really good books. My problem with it is like I wanted more after reading the 5 issues.
Oh, is it only 5?
Yeah, it's only 5. It's like 5
It's
issue
like
mini.
a mini series.
And I felt like I wanted more of the story because she was an interesting character. You know, it deals with some supernatural elements, you know, and of course it's set in the early 70s, so racism was still a major thing then.
Start a petition
But
for them to bring it back.
Yeah, I definitely, if you see these, definitely pick them up and check it out. It's a good series.
I feel like Naomi's a pretty good one too from the DC
Yes.
universe.
I didn't finish it, but I have the first issue.
I had the first issue, but then I saw this at the comic book store. Oh wait, I didn't even finish it. Damn. Yeah, but then I saw that they had this hardcover on sale, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna buy you. I'm like, now that I cut my hair, I can cosplay her. Just put some braids.
Mm.
I read the first issue of that and I thought it was pretty good, but I didn't add it to my pull or nothing. But I got the trade and I'm eventually gonna read it.
And Far Sector. Please, everybody go read Far Sector. The art is beautiful.
I have the first 2 issues, but I got lost. I need to restart it.
Yeah, there's a lot happens in the beginning too. Like you have to like set yourself up and be like, okay, I have like a half an hour to read this, like no distractions.
It's funny, I'm not I like Green Lantern. I dug the Jeff Johns Green Lantern run, and I enjoyed some of the Green Lantern course, but I wouldn't consider myself a big Green Lantern fan. But Far Sector is one of those misses for me because by the time I got to the shop, it was gone. Like they had no more copies of it, and I tried other stores and I ain't seen none.
Well, I mean, do you want a copy number 1? Because my comic book store still has a ton of number 1s.
I would love a copy of issue number 1. It don't matter what print it is.
I think it's still first printing too.
You know the Black series?
Like DC Black?
No, it was. Let me.
Black?
Yeah, it's called Black.
Oh, okay.
It's one where what if black people were born with powers, and then you've seen the first issue with the black kids being held by gunpoint by the police. It's a black and white cover.
Mm-hmm. I see that.
And
I don't think
it's a. Let me see if I can get it, but it's a pretty good series. I'm still missing the last issue of it though.
Like what's
about
it from?
3 different from Black Mask. That's what he says. Black Mask imprint.
Like
so
how old of a series is it?
Not too old. It came out like maybe 4 years ago.
Okay.
I think I have the. Let me see if I can get them.
you guys read Ironheart?
Oh yes, yes, yes. I have
Yes, I
a
love her.
trade paper back of her. When I went to a Florida SuperCon, I saw it and I picked it up immediately.
Like, I saw this on sale, and I'm like, you're coming home with me.
I
No
didn't get
ifs,
through the
ands, or
whole
buts.
volume. I have a lot of series I need to finish.
I have a bad thing of picking up stuff and then just like collecting it but not reading it.
Yeah.
This was one that I randomly found in the shop, and I bought it just because she black. It was like a one shot.
It was dope.
Oh, I saw Dusty post this the other day, and then I'm like, oh, I have to order them. So I got,
Oh yes, red, blue, and black.
but I'm missing some. I have issues 1, 2, 3, 4, and 6. So I think I'm missing number 5 and number 7, which would be the last one.
It seems like it has like a really good backstory. I was like,
Yeah, I think so. And then like I read Young Avengers, so his grandson is in Young Avengers.
Seen this? This is what I'm talking about.
Oh, okay, I've never seen that. Maybe I just don't pay attention.
This is issue number 2. Provocative cover there. It's issue number 3. And here's a fun Donkey Kong homage, and you can tell who's at the top.
That's your president.
Sadly. Yeah.
Listen, Trudeau's no better, so.
Yeah, Tacoma AOK'd this to me like last year. The first 4 issues. I still need to get issue 5. But I've enjoyed it so far. I just need to get the 5th issue.
Like, have you ever read We Are Robin? I think I've read a few of the issues, but I fell off of that one too.
I didn't read that.
I get shamed for this, but like my favorite Robin is Jason Todd.
My man, Jason.
But is he your favorite Robin as a Red Hood, or did you enjoy him as Robin?
As Robin, part of the Titans though.
Okay.
Like, I feel like Damien is just a little too conceited.
Yeah.
He's like a little rotten brat.
I did enjoy him in the Super Sons book, you know, with John Kent.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that run. Then they canceled it and restarted, and the restart one wasn't as good as the first volume. And this was when Bendis came in and kind of took him out of the Superman series, which I didn't like.
I don't know exactly who. Well, apparently it's supposed to be Captain Marvel 2099, but I picked her up just because she looks like Storm with black hair.
Oh, not bad.
Oh, it does.
Speaking of which, I still got the X-Men books over here. And a lot of it features Storm. You know, these are classic X-Men. Paul Smith and some John Byrne.
I have that one.
Yeah, Rogue Storm. Of course, the Dracula. Proteus.
I've been trying to collect more Storm because you put in my head to do 365 days of Storm. I blame you.
Hey, it ain't all. It ain't got to be covers. You know, it could be panels and the interior, whatever you want to make it.
Hmm.
I just put it in your head. I ain't expect you to do it because I know the challenges can be struggled. That's why I haven't jumped on the. I was tempted to do it with the July challenge. Then I just said no.
The July challenge, the Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
That's too hard. And then for September, Comics Kings, they're doing a Hamilton one.
Oh boy.
So I'm like, if I do that, I have to start thinking from now because some of these are hard.
Yeah, I remember the days of doing those monthly challenges, and when you get to a day and you like, man, what book can I find for this? Like, make it kind of a little tough. You really have to go through your collection and see what you can use for it. It's fun though.
I
I
couldn't
like,
get through them.
but I do like the idea of going through your collection and just seeing what you find, because that's the fun
so
aspect of it. But yeah, that is time consuming. But
Look what I got this week.
oh man, I had the white suit one when I was a kid, or at least the gray suit one. I always wanted that black suit.
I was surprised that because they just released this. I'm surprised that they brought it back.
Yeah, they bring back a lot of those old retro ones.
Okay, where's my list? Favorite TV shows? Favorite black TV show?
That's
like
even
black superhero.
From it could be from past to present.
Ooh, some sitcoms that I watch or I really love to watch. I love Living Single and The Parkers and Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
All the time, baby.
Oh, of course.
Gotta throw a different world in there. That's one of my favorites.
Got that too, Sean.
Hillman.
Dwayne Wayne.
I love that show.
Always got my favorite hat. Yeah, so there's Living Single. Oh, Family Matters. That was a good one.
His Family Matters I have a love-hate relationship with, because
you don't like Urkel, do you?
I like Urkel, but man, by the time the second half of the series, I was a bit like, I've done seen this so many times now. It just kind of got worn out for me. I felt like Urkel wore out his welcome during the second half of the run.
But he became Stevan, and then Laura found out yeah, I don't want him anymore. I want Steve. I want the nerd.
I was like, he couldn't stay Stefan forever. He had to go back to being Urkel, and I'm like, it's gonna be the same thing with him and Carl and Eddie. But I agree. I Family Matters was a solid show, and TGIF Fridays was just right there with hanging with Mr. Cooper and Step by Step. Oh man, Fridays used to be awesome.
Yeah, Step by Step.
As for recent shows, I don't really watch much TV. But if you notice, I've been doing the Wire podcast with John's Comics for Kids. That's a show that I can just rewatch all the time and just gain new meaning of it. It's one of my favorite. To me, The Wire destroys every other cop drama. I can't watch no other cop drama now because of The Wire and how realistic that show was. When I saw all them actors show up on the Marvel Cinematic Netflix shows, I was like, oh, cool, this is somebody from The Wire. And then they get killed off, and I'm like, man, fuck this show, man. That's how I felt. Jeffrey Comic-Con bringing up Moesha.
Oh, Moesha, yeah. What's that one with Monique?
The Parkers.
Parkers?
Yeah. That was a spinoff of Moesha.
And then Girlfriends, which the spin-off was The Game, which I liked The Game too.
Yeah, I liked both of those shows. And then, did you remember One on One?
Yes. Oh, yes. I remember
Is that
that.
the one with Kyla Pratt?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah, I liked that show.
And,
It only lasted 4 seasons too. I was kind of disappointed that it didn't go longer. Because just when they hit college in the 4th season, they reduced the father's role in the show, and then it just ended. And I was like, oh man, that sucked.
It's getting too real, probably. I started watching Blackish and then Grownish, but I fell off of both of them.
Oh,
Same.
Grownish is good. I fell off of Blackish though.
Like, I
I
think it's
probably
just
watched like
with work and
first 2
everything, I
seasons,
just
but-
kept missing it. But like, I'll binge watch it now.
Yeah, I'll probably catch the syndicated episodes in the house.
So do you guys watch Black Lightning? Even though it just got clowned on? I
Yeah.
started my show.
I'm behind on it now, but like, I was keeping up for a while.
I did like when they introduced Bill Duke in there. I did, because I'm a big Bill Duke fan, and I thought he was so convincing as this evil head of this corporation. But and looking at what the world's going through now with this whole George Floyd thing, it feels like Black Lightning was more relevant in today's era, because they were pushing the hell out of the whole police thing and all the they were really, like, the first season I let it slide, but then the more it kept going, I'm like, I'm a bit tired of this. But and then, like I said, sometimes the daughters be acting a bit bratish, especially and the whole family dynamic be just so upside down. The mother and father arguing, the father and daughter arguing, the mothers and daughter arguing. I'm like, damn, y'all just argue every damn episode.
It's reality.
It's nah. I was like, that's too much arguing every episode. And sometimes it could be a bit off-putting when it's every episode. It's like, how many times can I see these characters argue with each other? But it is what it is. I enjoy the show, but sometimes it does wear on me with the amount of arguments and agendas that they like to push.
Yeah, it gets more interesting and more like in depth the more recent seasons.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I liked it, the whole ASA and what they were doing there, but I just felt like sometimes, like, I didn't expect Wayne Brady to be the villain of the whole show. I was like, Wayne Brady? When I saw him pop up, I'm like, so wait, is this the Wayne Brady from Spell Show? Wait, does he have to choke somebody? So, that kind of threw me off. But overall, it's a good show. I wouldn't say it's a great show.
Y'all,
I still have not watched The Get Down yet.
I liked it, but it got
A few
canceled.
episodes. I like the few episodes that I watched.
How about
Black AF? Don't that. I
I
couldn't get
hate
into that
that.
show.
It's so stupid.
That's why, because
I don't even
that's
know
why
what that's supposed to be
said,
about.
what about Black AF? Because we tried watching it, and like every episode was titled something about slavery. We're like, okay, enough with it. And it was just, the humor was just too dry.
See, I don't even think I heard of it.
Don't worry. It's the guy who made Blackish and Grownish, but the show is not good like those shows.
So it's a comedy?
It's supposed to be a comedy, but it's like made to be like a reality show. Because it's supposed to be like the daughter, and the daughter's like trying to get into film school, so she's making a film about like a documentary type of thing about her family. Fake.
The acting is terrible.
It is.
Something
yes,
to
the
play in
Boondocks
background.
Boondocks predicted everything that would happen in the last 10 years. From people fighting over chicken So
I
what
heard that they're
rappers?
coming back,
It's gonna be hard because
but I
I
don't
don't
know
know.
if Aaron's
I
gonna
don't
be a
know if
part of it.
I don't. I don't know if Regina King is gonna be a part of it. You know, considering what she's doing now. We all know what happened to
Oh,
John Witherspoon.
Hmm.
so I didn't even know she voiced Riley, but then when I heard her say it's like certain things in Watchmen, I was like, yo, that's Riley.
Yeah,
Like,
Doesn't she do both Riley and Huey?
yeah, she did both. She was able to change voices for both of them, but she did both characters, and I don't know if she will return to the Boondocks if they bring it back.
Listen,
And with no
number
John,
one voice actress is Cree Summers.
yes, going all the way back to Inspector Gadget.
I liked her from a different world, but then when I found that she was the voice of all these people, I'm like, damn, girl.
She voices She-Hulk.
She voices everybody. Everybody black, basically. Even though She-Hulk's not black, but still.
Yeah, she voiced white characters, black characters. It didn't matter what she voiced. She voiced all of them. She was like the voice of our childhood.
Like, she doesn't even have to do auditions. They just give her the roles. They, like, write roles for her.
Yep.
Yeah. Regardless of what he did, like, that was, like, a staple of my childhood. And, like, the show had a lot of good family values. Even though he himself, values were not that great.
Threw all those family values in the trash for what he did.
Hmm.
But he did. It did lead to a different world. You know, without Cosby Show, we wouldn't have had the different world.
Yeah. Which even A Different World season 1 was not that great. It
Yeah, it
got
was
better.
average. When
So if
Debbie
any of
Allen
you
took
go to
over,
watch it, it gets better after season 1. Just keep pushing through.
shoot, I would say start with season 2. Like this season 1 was just dry for me. You know, the only saving grace was Whitley and Dwayne Wayne. After that, when they brought in Kim and Freddie, the show got instantly better.
Yep.
Reinvented voice acting. I know we briefly talked about video games off air, and I know you say you're not a video game, but what
I
video
know
games
Gabby's waiting for that PS5.
y'all looking forward to the Miles Morales Spider-Man?
Yes, that's why I want to get the PS5. That's going to be the first game that I play on the
Oh man,
I gotta switch systems for that.
what system you was on, the Xbox?
Yeah, I got the one.
Gotta get that PS5. Man, what's up
Backwards
with
compatible for everything, so it's a win-win.
so video games is probably looking to go up $70 for a game.
That's
Like
so
70
dumb. I'm gonna
more?
wait.
Huh?
No,
$70 more?
No, it's going from $59.99 to $69.99. That's what they planning to do for the next generation.
Well, right now our games are 79, so that means the game is probably going to go up to 90 for us.
That's crazy. Like
dang.
the console's already gonna be like $500-$600, and then you gotta buy a $70 game. Like, damn.
Man, they know what they're doing. How to wring you out of all your money.
Even if you save up enough money, you still only got enough for just the console and maybe one game.
And then they're going to get you with the DLC. It's like, oh, you need to buy this DLC.
Oh yeah, you know that's coming. They want you to buy the collector's edition with this sweet ass Miles Morales statue. I'm like, man, why y'all tempting me? Oh
They're
man,
probably going to come out with like a nice, like, red and black one.
it's gonna be
Like
sweet. I'll tell you, they're gonna say, yeah, open up your wallet, give us your money. Like
yeah,
that
it's going to
future,
be that meme. Take my money.
yeah, take my money. That Futurama, it's another great show.
But like, was there any other games announced other than Spider-Man?
They announced. I know they announced a few games, but Spider-Man was
Like, I
like the one
swear that everybody only cares about Spider-Man.
We probably only care about Spider-Man because, like I said, I don't game as much, so I know I saw other games, but I'm all about that Spider-Man, like that Miles Morales. Plus, I enjoyed the PS4 Spider-Man, so you know I'm gonna be all over that. But yes, I don't even know if I'm gonna get it when it launches. I'll probably just wait a couple of months.
When's it supposed to come out?
It just said
A
this
holiday.
Oh, so it's coming out Christmas.
I don't know. It just said the holiday.
Yeah, which is probably gonna be November, a week before Black Friday, of course, which means no sales on none of the games.
No, they're probably going to do it after Black Friday so that you definitely don't get any sales.
Well, they normally don't put out a console before Black Friday. I've noticed because most of the new consoles that I remember coming out always came out between September and November before for Black Friday. Because last time PS3 and Xbox came out, they were like 2 weeks apart, but it was before Black Friday. They're not going to give us those Black Friday deals on new
It
games.
comes out in November.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's right. You got Horizon.
Do you feel like representation has like changed a lot since your childhood to now?
I would say yes. It has changed, but it's been like a slow growth. You know, from when I was a kid to where we are now. You know, it's much better now than it was then, but it's still a work in progress. You know, there still needs to be a lot more done. But right now, I would say it's much better than what it was when I was a kid. Because outside of maybe the Storms and Bishops and stuff, you didn't see a whole lot of black characters in a bunch of solo series. You saw Blade, you saw Cage, Luke Cage had a series, but I still think it is more room to grow where we at least walk into the comic store and see about for each company, see 5, 6 titles with predominantly black leads.
I feel like it even goes as simple as like toys. Because when I was a kid, it was hard to find a black doll. I don't know if it's just like being in Canada or overall, but I remember as a child, my mom trying very hard to find like varying shades of dolls for me because she's like, I want you to have dolls that like look like you. So in particular, I remember for the Millennium, my mom searched hard and wide and she got me this Millennium Barbie and it's black. And like, I know how hard that would have been because in 2000, like how many black Barbies were there? I don't even know if she had to order this from the States or what. So like ever since a child, she's like, Anika, you can't open this. Like this isn't for you to play with. And then I think in 2018, I'd got this one from work. And I remember there was a lady at work and she's like, ew, why would you want that? Like her hair is so frizzy. Like when I get a doll, I want it to be blonde and straight hair and white. I'm like, well, no, this doll is important to me because you don't ever see a doll with an afro. So it's like representation matters definitely because you want your children, especially little girls, to see something that looks like them.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. You got anything to say, Gabby?
No. Enjoying the conversation.
Okay, well, how do you feel like representation has changed for you since you were a kid till now?
Okay. So like I'm a 2000s baby, so like
So that doll's as old as you. Older than you probably.
I feel
Older
like
than you.
yeah, as I've grown up, as a child I may not have been as aware. So as I was coming to be like a teenager and as a young adult, I'm becoming more aware of everything that I'm watching, reading, and seeing like, hey, like where are these characters that look like me or maybe interested in this field? I think that in today with TVs, movies, books, there's so many different characters that can be created for people of color, like having a black chef in a TV show or a astronaut who is a black character. There's different representations that can be made in TV shows today in the future. Like I feel like there's so much more that they can explore with people of color.
Got anything to add to that, Kenzie?
I mean, I felt that. I don't watch a movie or TV show that doesn't have at least like 2 or 3 main black characters. Like, well, and they don't even have to be main, but gotta be some type of diversity
Like you
in
need
there.
you don't want to support it, or you don't feel like you do support it unless like you see representation for yourself.
Right.
That's understandable because growing up we didn't have the representation that we thought, and then the '90s came especially when it came to TV. I felt like we had a good amount of black sitcoms. We brought up Living Single, we brought up Martin, we brought up Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Then you had the Wayans brothers, Steve Harvey. There was a couple of nice, great
Steve Harvey
black.
showing his hair. Jeez, that hair.
his baggy
like
suits.
styrofoam.
But we had a good amount of black shows, and then come the 2000s, it regressed. It went backwards. It didn't have as many as we did in the 90s. So I was like, how we go from what we had in the 90s to the mid 2000s, and there's barely any black shows on?
No, it is definitely going backwards, because even if you look farther back, there was like the black exploitation films. But then like we kept going backwards from that, and now I guess it's going back in that direction.
Yeah. But I just look at it as it's made progress, but it's still slow because there's still not a huge amount of black representation. It's like hovering between low and medium. But I will say that there is some representation in terms of they are representing the Muslim with Miss Marvel. Kamala Khan, that was great. I read the omnibus of that and I enjoyed it. And there's some other representations. You have Miss America Chavez. Even though
she's both Hispanic and a lesbian, so that's 2 things right there.
And I know the Wicked and Divine had a lot of lesbians and gays, and there was some diversity in that book. So there are books that has that diversification. So like I said, on that front, it's gotten better, but it still needs to grow more. Anything else? Anything else y'all want to discuss?
How do you feel about non-POC writers writing POC stories?
Sometimes
like, how do you feel about people who haven't lived that experience writing about an experience that they don't know of?
Yeah, it's a weird situation to be in because, like, I agree. Like, how can you write from something that you haven't experienced? Like, every person of color story is going to be different. I mean, you can do like research into the struggles, but it might not be as authentic as it should be if it was coming from a person of color. So
I'm that same way, like,
because I feel like definitely it works sometimes. For example, with Miles Morales, like Michael Brian Bendis, he's not black or Hispanic, and he did a good job. And then the current writer now is doing an amazing job, but he's neither.
And he's the same writer who did Abbott, who's black.
Mm-hmm.
There are certain liberties to it, but I would like to see more black writers, given the opportunity. And sometimes they get the opportunity, and it don't last long.
Yeah.
like we talked about earlier, we had Shuri written by a black writer. That didn't last long, and even if it didn't keep our attention, like we didn't stick with the series, you still kind of hope that it goes longer than what it did. The World of Wakanda, that series got canceled at 5 issues, and they said it was canceled when issue 2 came out. They canceled the what was the series? The Black Panther series with Luke Cage, Storm, Misty Knight. Yeah, Black Panther and the Crew. That's another one that got canceled when they announced that as an ongoing. So it's like sometimes you get these black writers on these books, but they don't get the support. Either they don't get the support and the series don't last long, or people don't like the series and it just leads to the getting canceled. So I just feel like
it's like maybe people don't know about it.
Yeah,
because like people are going in for like the Captain America, the Iron Man, the like regular Black Panther series, so they're not like looking for anything outside of that.
And plus, it's Marvel tending to put out too much,
too much.
Because I think the Crew and World of Wakanda came out around the same time, and I was like, that's a bit too much Black Panther going on, and that was during the time of the movie. So of course that Marvel's looking to pump out a huge amount of Black Panther, but I'm like, they didn't really support them. They canceled them while the series was at issue 2. Say, yeah, this is only going to be a 5-issue series after you announced that it was an ongoing when you started it. And that's my problem with Marvel, is Marvel tends to do that a lot. They start the series saying it's an ongoing, then they cancel that issue 5. They did it with Nighthawk, which was written by David Walker, one of my favorite writers. And it's like, I can't really support Marvel if they're going to keep doing that. They canceled Iron Fist and Power Man, another one written by David Walker, just so they could do the Civil War. And that was pretty good. But you're going to do Civil War 2 and cancel that book? I'm like, come on now, that was completely unnecessary. How can I support this series when you're just going to cancel it for another event?
And that's the thing, they do events so often.
Too much.
And like when they do these events, it's like 18 plus things coming out of it, like 15 plus series coming out of each event that you have to follow.
And that's why, why follow it when you could just wait a year later for the omnibus? Pay for it all in one shot. I don't know. That's my biggest gripe with Marvel. Yep. So if that's the case, I can call the show right here. Been on for 2.5 hours, but it was a great
Wait,
show.
One more question.
Okay.
Have any fave black comic artists? Mine are Jamal Campbell and Marcus Williams.
There was one dude that I recently found on Instagram. His Instagram is Lead Killer. So,
that's Ken Lashley.
It's what?
Oh, he's an awesome dude.
Lead Killer.
With the A at the end. That's Ken Lashley. He's an awesome dude. I met him a couple of years back, and he's been on TiVo's show a lot, talking. He's an awesome guy. He's a great artist.
It's Lead Killer?
Okay, so it's Lead Killer.
Okay.
See him?
Got it.
Yeah, he's an awesome artist. He definitely. I have a lot of his work and a couple of his signatures, but he's a great one. I like Brian Stelfleet, who did the Shuri.
And Black Panther.
Dennis Cohen, amazing artist. He's one of the originals.
Oh, I like Paris Allen too.
Yep. That's another good one.
I guess I'm a little biased with these Toronto mans. But
remember a couple weeks ago we shared the Beto art.
Yeah.
His hip-hop stuff.
That's a third Toronto mans. Because last time I didn't even notice those posters are both by him too.
Awesome. But yeah, those are some of the few I can name off that great artists, and I know there's a bunch of others. Marcus Williams. I
He
remember
does Tuskegee Airs.
I know he does that, but I backed at his Supernatural years ago, and that still hasn't come out. It still has not come out. All I got from him is the print, and I was like, "Yo, what's up with this book?"
So he's salty a little bit.
Yeah, I'm a bit salty on that because I really wanted to support that. The Supernatural woman, and when years kept going by and no updates, of he saying, "Oh, I'm working with distributors and stuff," and I'm
You didn't message him?
I did, and I kept getting the same response to the point where I was like, "Man, fuck this."
See the comments there, Gabby?
Yeah. So I like Marcus Williams' art, but yeah, I'm a bit salty over that. Lead Killer was supposed to be involved with the return of Milestone, and that kind of got nipped in the bud when he was on TiVo's show talking about it. So I don't know when they're going to bring Milestone back. To be honest, that's like a big question mark. Because they would have been brought it back if they really wanted to. But I think it's because of the whole legal deal with Dwayne McDuffie's wife. That's why they've been held up on it. But other than that, yeah, those are the artists. And anything else?
Yeah, we didn't show any of Gabby's art today. That's like something that you do all the time.
I know she got that punchline up there. That's the new piece that she did.
Oh yeah, I really loved her costume design, so I just wanted to paint a picture of her.
Yeah, the jury is still out on her.
Like her.
Yeah, the jury is still out on her. How she'll be as a character, but Harley Quinn for life. That's all I got to say.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Harley for life. She's getting her life sorted out and everything.
I know, right? It's a fun little series, the Harley Quinn series.
I wouldn't say little. It's so long. It's like started 3-4 times. I had to stop.
Like 75.
I used to have it in my poll, and I had to be like, nah, there's too much. It's too much money now.
Yeah, but I've stuck with it though. It's one of those comedy books that I still occasionally, because I need a palate cleanser after reading a couple of series books.
The one good thing about her,
Comic Geek.
Hey,
first of all, I want to shout him out. He had a great live show with Gabby, California Blend, a couple of weeks ago. So shout out to you, Southern Comic Geek, for having her on your show. That was a great episode. Now, what you were saying?
I don't know. Oh, that her covers are pretty good for like cover challenges.
True. All right, so I'm gonna end it right now. I want to thank everybody that showed up. It was great having you on here. I know somebody said, I think it was Dusty Brick Brown, that said, I need to hear more from Mackenzie. He did say that. She was just sitting there laying in the cut enjoying the conversation. And I understand, this is your first time being on live stream and you just want to sit back and hear everybody. You didn't know really how to say, but the more you do these, it starts to become natural. And it's fun. It's fun getting into conversations with people talking about, comic books and cosplay and all that stuff. So hopefully we can get more out of you next time. If you come back on. But I'll definitely look forward to it. Maybe you can share more.
Their Instagrams. That's what I'm doing right now.
Yes, because she has amazing artwork, and she got 2 pages, I'll put both of the links in the description. Everybody's links is in the description, so make sure y'all hit the links to their pages and follow them. Gabby, it was great having you back on here.
Thanks for having me again.
No, of course, Fresh Princess, you're always welcome on here. And Brown Sugar Outlaw and Maya really brought it. You know, they were the main two talkers of the show.
Yeah.
But it was fun. You know, it was great energy. We had a great time. At one point, we had 30 people in the chat. So that was a lot of people. But it's a great show. This your boy Sean, Stay Puft 1983. Enjoy your weekend. Everybody be safe. You know, wear your mask because people are stupid out there. You know, always wear your mask. And this is your boy. We all signing off.